Hey guys, and welcome, and yes, Death Before Dishonour is back, baby! It is Season 10 qualifier number 2. The mighty Callaharman did qualify all that time ago in qualifier number 1, but since then, we've done so many, different events and so on. DBD has kind of been pushed to the side slightly, but no longer shall the mighty Torment series be stopped. We are back in action. We have 2 best-of-3 semi-finals and a best-of-5 finals here for you today. Up first, we have the legendary, the infamous, the Black Fawn, a mighty warrior indeed, up against a rather devious and evil and cunning yet skillful opponent in the form of Charax. It's going to be a good fun one. We have DBD choke it down against RTK. Lots of RTK players today. Many of them performed really well indeed. But we do have, of course, after this, a second semi-final. We are waiting to see who that will be against, though. If I do hop out quickly and hop into the glorious challenge page, I can link you guys. Looks like Mofet is going to be one of our semi-finalists. He's waiting to face either Vernon or Tim Wilder, who I think is a player who's been making quite a big name for himself in the a beginner leagues and so forth, and really crushing it in Logic Shortbeard League and so on. So I'm pretty excited to see how he performs if he does get here to the semi-final. So let's quickly drop a little link for you guys to the bracket so you can see what is going on. Boop, boop, boop. And what up, what up? Hello, hello, hello. Hello, Mr. Hoff, Mr. Geese, Howard, Honk Honk, the legendary Goose himself. Zypher, thank you so much, man, for becoming a duck. You have indeed bribed me. I was about to say, don't you dare compare me to the lateness of Mr. Logic. He is renowned across the many realms for his lateness, both in the YouTube realm and in real life. Trust me, I am his housemate. What's up, Eldelmo, as well? Matthew Coffin, I hope you guys are all good today. Really excited to be back. What's up, Eldrin of the Mist as well? Love the name as always. Hope you're having a fantastic day, and nom nom nom, I will accept your gifts and bribery of bread, Mr. Zypher, as we do wait for this first one. So let's pop in here. It looks like it is gonna be just no one saying anything, so I don't know who's picking and banning what. They may have spoken in Discord, in fairness. It looks like we may have Skaven versus Bretonia. Let's have a double check. Is it Skaven versus Brett? In which case, that's really good news for Charax. At least I think so. I mean, Bretonia can just overrun the Skaven with mass cav early on, can be really scary. What's up, Rusty? Hope it's going good, man. Good to see you around. Revnows as well. I gave my duck snooze and candy. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Can you get duck candy? I'm assuming it's candy, which is healthy for ducks. But I hope you guys are enjoying the realms today. So I have a question for you, Duck. What way is best to us? Oh, so, let me get my phone up so I can see your question properly. So, what way is best to us the basic Blood Rack Medusa? Oh, so which is the best way to use the Blood Rat Medusa? Do you use them like a Chariot or maybe more like an Ancient Salamander? I would go definitely more for an Ancient Salamander kind of style of play. Now, you can use it in combat. It's not too bad with its air effect ability, particularly when air effect abilities were broken. It was actually an okay utility unit in general, though it's not considered to be super competitive. It's definitely wanting to use all its range damage. Its range damage is really where it shines. Shooting into elite infantry and so on is certainly what can bring the pain, at least in my opinion. Plus, the Blood Rat Medusa may be the most beautiful model in the game. It is yet to be decided. We maybe need a poll at some point, but I'm pretty sure it would win. Just look at the glorious tattoos, and the kind of red scaly skin looks very scary, very Lizman-like in a way. So it's not, we wasn't picking anything. Oh, okay. Anyway, I'll go Lizman and High Elf, says Charax. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So we're going to get some Dino Boys or some High Elves. I'd quite like to see the High Elves in action. The way this works, it is pick 2, ban 0. So, you know, it's a different system to what we used to do with the whole pick 2, ban 1 and all that kind of jazz. Although, if it does go to a third game, it will be back to the old system. So it is Lizmen v High Elves. What do I do in this situation? What do I do? Probably knowing me, I would probably just pick Lizmen, but bring on the mirror match. Or if you want to play High Elves against my Lizmen, that is absolutely fine and dandy with me. But there's quite a few options, I think. Black Fawn is notorious being a relatively flexible player, coming in with a multitude of different factions. You never really know which one he's going to go for until he's half destroyed your army and you're kind of in the corner crying. So we'll have to see if he's got any tricks up his sleeve to bring to Charax there. Let's quickly drop into the Discord, make sure we have no questions. Looks like we're all good. There was a small rule break in the other quarterfinals, so they're just sorting that out, and it looks like they are back underway, which is all good to see. Anyone not voting for the Arcane Phoenix is delusional. By far the sexiest model. Zypher, may I introduce you to our Lord and Savior, Mr. Mazdamundi. If you're not voting for Mazdamundi, I don't know what you're doing in life. I don't know what you're doing. How much did Lizman pay you for the Arcs of Sotek? I didn't think it was a weird rule change. So we're playing with fruit rules today, with 1 or 2 exceptions, which is probably the way we're going to do tournaments into the future, is that we use fruit rules, which are rules I really like. Think they're probably the best rule set out there at the moment by a considerable large margin. I'm going to be taking these like main kind of rule sets that are out there, and then just altering anything that I want, small alterations for my own tournaments, because I think they're a really good basis for all good fun. But there's a few rules, for example, the dragon rule that we have taken out today. It's a little bit of a dated rule where star dragons could not be taken alongside any other dragon, which certainly made sense back in the day, right? Dragons were very scary, they were horrifying large creatures which would destroy your entire realms, and there's not too much you could do about it. But now dragons aren't that great, if we're being perfectly honest with you, so I think it's one of those rules which doesn't really, it's just kind of left over from a bygone era. So we're changing 1 or 2 bits here and there, but for the most part we are using fruit rules today. It looks like we're getting Vampire Coast. Ooh, that is a rather smart pick by Blackthorn. I expect to see probably High Elves here from Charax. I mean, it's tough. Coast can do so much long-range damage, and High Elves being very squishy and very expensive do tend to struggle in such matchups, but Lizardmen really don't have a good time up against Coast either, due to the fact they're so slow. You do kind of have to go with a big wide 20 stack and try to overwhelm your opponent, then all of a sudden they come with a large crab or something, it can catch you off guard. So it is going to be High Elves as we expected. Coast v High Elves. What a showdown. That's going to be good fun. I'm expecting Charax to almost 100% go with 5 Shadow Warriors. Something along those lines. Go and mass skirmish and try to whittle down the VP from long range Charax. Very good in that skirmish game. We actually played recently in one of my own tournaments in the one build at Battle Royale. He brought Lizardmen and again went with that kind of mass skirmish style of play. And I was the Mighty Norscans, but luckily we had double War Mammoth on our side. Most beautiful looking model in the game. Got to admire the physique of Grom. I mean, it is relatively impressive how Grom is still standing. I will give you that for sure. Lord Croak as well, of course. How can no one love Lord Croak? It's Swedish snuff. Oh, okay. So you've been like, you've been treating your ducks rather well, is what you're saying. Hey, Rubber Duck and the duck people. What's up, Major Muller? How's it going, champ? Hope you're all good in the hood. Elves are really nice into Coast. We'll see. As have bolt throwers, yeah. Like, bolt throwers is the main advantage you have, but mortars, like, destroy everything the High Elves hold near and dear. But we'll have to wait and see. I don't honestly think Charax is going to go for the bolt throwers, just because of the style of play he normally brings. I think it's going to be Mass Shadow Warriors, an Archmage of some description, probably a Spirit Leech and a Fire Mage at the same time. So we'll probably see one up on an eagle, one down on the ground on a horse. Spirit Leech spam, Fireball spam, and then Shadow Warrior Kite is the way I think would be the most likely that we're going to see the High Elves play today. Now, there is a chance they could go mass bolt throwers, of course, and you pick apart the crabs from range, you pick apart their artillery pieces, and it can do a load of good work. But the VP, likewise, can counter that by going for those slow style push with a load of kind of mobile guns rather than just taking artillery pieces. Definitely going to be an interesting game. We'll have to see how it unfolds here. Yeah, High Elf Archers trade incredibly well in this matchup, apart from against Mortars, in which case they get absolutely devastated, which is their kind of big weakness here. But if they've brought Mortars, then of course you have your Fireballs, your Spirit Leeches, your Bolt Throwers to try to counteract those Mortars themselves. But I'm excited to see which way it goes. My early predictions are just going to be, hey, it's probably going to be a great game. We've got 2 fantastic players here. It is a nice evening here in the UK. It's actually started to warm up a little bit, so maybe trying to shred some of those winter duck feathers. And I'm just excited for what's to come. Metal Caster is pretty important for Plague Rush. Yeah, just in case there's a crab rush, for sure. Otherwise, you could get caught out by the Lamprey's Revenge. But I still think ensuring you win the artillery fight can be massive if you're not bringing those bolt throws. If you're just going with, like, Shadow Wars and so forth, you have to make sure you take out the enemy artillery. And a good way to do that is Spirit Leech and Fireball, of course. They're kind of notoriously good, though you can maybe bring High Casters and so on, who can do a similar job whilst also bringing Tempest. Use Soul Quench to take out artillery pieces, and Tempest to take out deck droppers and other flies, fell bats, anything which get in your face and be real sticky and annoying, you can take out of a lovely Tempest, which is such a powerful spell in these current times, and has been for a very, very long time. I remember when no one really knew about Tempest, and it wasn't really ever used. It was quite interesting, and people getting overwhelmed by flyers. And I'm not sure who it is that we need to kind of praise for actually bringing Tempest into the multiplayer scene, but it certainly did mix things up quite a bit. What's up, Andrew Curry, the mighty duck himself? I have returned. I am here in this glorious Monday evening, which we don't normally stream on Mondays, but it's going to be a bit of a messy week this week. I most likely won't be able to stream Thursday, Friday, maybe not even Wednesday, I don't know. I have a small operation I've got to have on Thursday, which I'll be fine, like there's no like bad effects for it really, but I'm probably going to be knackered because I have to get put under, so they said I'm going to be a bit doolally for most of the day, and I'll probably end up just sleeping the next couple of days after that. Yeah, High Elves, for some reason, have, like, every... They don't have every law. They've got the majority of laws. They're missing a few laws. They don't have, like, any, like, unique faction ones, you know? You can't... Imagine like, High Elves summoning zombies and stuff. That'd be wild. But as far as all the basic laws go, yeah, High Elves have everything, which is kind of weird that Lizardmen don't, because the Lizardmen trained the High Elves how to do magic. But looks like these lads are ready to rumble, so let's get this battle underway and hop into the action. There's so many different ways to play Coast versus High Elves. Yeah, there's definitely going to be a bit of build roulette. I 100% agree. Yeah, like Eldrin's right. Like they don't have Skaven and Greenskin lore magic, but as far as like the base magics are concerned, I'm assuming that's what Zypher's talking about. High Elves kind of have all of them. Despite, I will put it out there, being worse casters than the Lizardmen. But you know that's my Lizardmen bias coming through a little bit. Just saying, if you guys do know your lore, the High Elf Vortex was too weak and was failing until the Slann intervened. And, of course, wrestled control and sorted out the High Elf mistakes. Though that is also probably just a lore reason to keep the Lizardmen busy, because they're a little bit too OP in lore and can't really take effect too much directly in major matchups. So, let's check out the builds, and it is going to be a rather interesting Blackthorn build. My god, this is certainly something. So we actually have Foot Solostra Diathin, which will make her a Feral, which is quite nice. She's not a Feral on her crab despite her look. Solostra, this is some wild stuff. Coming in with Tidecool as well as the Kraken's Pull. And I'm assuming she's going to be coming in with the Song of Enthrallment, a very lovely Hex, and Ghost of the Past, of course. It is a load of polearms dotted all the way along, mixed in with double Sirens as well, and 2 units of Bombers. That's going to kind of make up the main contingent of the force. But over on the left-hand side, we have triple Scurvy Dogs, double Animated Hulks, plus the Night Terrors, which are the Regiment of Renowned Morngulls, who do actually come in with Stalk, and they're relatively swift with 45 speed, so may be able to catch some of the enemy skirmishers. But this is disgusting. We have double Animated Hulks. I don't know who the Blackthorn thinks he is. He obviously thinks he's a top memer, and you know what? I fully agree with him there. For the forces of the High Elves, it is basically as we expected, a load of Shadow Warriors. This is how Charax loves to play in general. A massive fan of his Shadow Warrior play. I have felt their wrath many a times. We have double Illyrian Reavers to help protect them. Couple units of Spearmen in the back alongside 1 unit of Rangers, 1 Lone Ranger there. And up in the skies, we have double Arcane Phoenix alongside the Archmage of High Magic. So no Spirit Leech or Fireballs today, but Archmage of High certainly can get the job done with Soul Quench, Tempest, and Apotheosis. Unfortunately, Tempest is just wasted here, and the Soul Quench is useful. You can definitely drop it on those pesky Sirens, but it's not going to be good against, you know, there's no enemy artillery, so it doesn't have those perfect targets. So a little bit unfortunate there with the picking of such spells, but I'm sure he will be able to make them work as much as possible. We are going to have some Skodogs instantly jumping on top of Shadow Warriors in this Vanguard deployment, but unfortunately for them, there are some Illyrian Reavers nearby, so it's really going to come down to the reflexes of these players and who is able to react first. Without further ado, let's get this battle underway. Witness his memes, brothers! Witness them! Witness the power! So instantly you can see those Scurvy Dogs are going to jump on top of those Shadow Warriors and try feasting upon them, but they themselves are going to die as well because the Illyrian Reavers are coming with a big fat juicy rear attack. We do have more Scurvy Dogs though bounding across the open plain. Likewise, we do have some guns pouring in, but it is a very effective trade so far for the forces of the High Elves. The Illyrian Reavers are going to be able to maybe get 2 for 1 here and hunt down the other Scurvy Dogs, but the Sirens are nearby and Shadow Warriors are being forced back. A lovely Tidecool as well just whips down the line of those Shadow Shadow Warriors, doing some massive damage. Elsewhere, Scurvy Dogs try to kind of get to grips with these Shadow Warriors. The Alien Reaver play has been certainly top-notch so far. Now, we do have the Sirens who can delve in. Arcane Phoenixes do magic damage, of course, as well as fire damage. They're going to be a perfect counter to the Sirens. They need to be careful, though. There's a lot of gun support nearby who might be able to fend them off. We can see on the far side, Sirens taking massive damage right now, but with the handgunners nearby, it could be a little bit of a disaster. But it looks like at the moment they're actually deciding to push forward and maybe aim for the Illyrian Reavers instead, as the Sirens continue to hound and harass going forward. Night Terrors are on the warpath and the approach. Animated Hulk's going to be pushing into the Shadow Warriors, trying to drive them back here. They are getting a little overextended away from the rest of their build, and oh my god, the Soul Quench 360 no scope. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Celestra Diaphin in her ethereal state means she is made of paper to a magic attack like a Soul Quench. One shot, one kill, Archmage on fire. Maybe it'd been 2 Soul Quenches. I might have missed the earlier one, but there's only been time for at least 2. So that is some crazy damage done to the Undead Lord there. Damn Knight's Errand were able to be summoned, though, on the battlefield. They're weaving their way into the Shadow Warriors. Looks like double Shadow Warriors have been caught out a little bit here. Good pressure coming in by the Black Fawn. The Night Terrors alongside the Damn Knights should be able to overwhelm the Shadow Warrior position. There are some Reavers desperately attempting to fall back. Animated Hulks are beating at the gates, trying to push through that front line. Though the front line, of course, is continuously falling back. More Sirens starting to float over. But double Arcane Phoenix is really scary now, particularly with no more magic coming in. The Gunnery Mob is trying its best to bring down the Phoenix, but 50 armor, it's not great, but it's not terrible either. Some polearms are on the approach, and the bombers are desperately trying to get rid of these spearmen as quickly as possible to free up the animated Hulks to push into the enemy back line. Now, the Night Terrors have gone on a bloodthirsty rampage, ripping and tearing limbs off the Shadow Warriors. Those damn Knights as well doing some massive damage. It looks like the Shadow Warriors on this flank have been collapsed, but we still have the 3 in the middle, looking rather healthy. Arcane Phoenixes floating around, up to no good, starting trouble in their neighborhood, but both look pretty healthy, and we are going to get a big apotheosis going down. Sirens continue to push on the left-hand side. Looks like the High Elf Infantry has faltered and started to break. Arcane Phoenix takes a deadly salvo of shots there from the Gunnery Mob. High Elves certainly in a dominant position, but they don't want to get greedy and throw this away. Slowly pick apart at this Vampire Coast build. Spearmen do go down in the back here. Looks like the Rangers as well starting to suffer under the might of the animated Hulks, but the Shadow Warriors are well and truly alive. Likewise are these Arcane Phoenixes, and they're going to be the ones to cause the big problems for the VP today. A lovely little vortex does come down. It looks so freaking cool. I mean, it's not a good way to die, but at least you get to see a load of pretty cutters as your flesh is ripped from your bones. The mob trying to push through as much as possible. We actually have the bloody Reavers in here, who I did not notice before. Regiment of Renowned Depth Guard, even adding more stakes to the glorious memes now. If they are able to surround the Arcane Phoenixes, they will drag them down in a matter of moments. They are very deadly, but not the quickest on the battlefield, and chasing down these Shadow Warriors is currently a top priority. We do have the Night Terrors lurking in the trees, trying to absorb some of the enemy damage here. A lovely Soul Quencher rips down the line of the zombie pirate Gunnery mobs, doing some decent damage all around as the archers continue to fire in. The bombers doing a pretty decent job. Honestly, I've been actually very impressed with the VP, able to recover from that early loss. It still looks like the battle is probably going out of their hands, but the way they've managed to fight back in and get the wins where possible has been most impressive. The Night Terrors are just slaughtering more Shadow Warriors, plus with the support of the polearms nearby to try to counter these pesky Reavers who are coming in to intercept them with a well-timed hit, actually, just as the Night Terrors go out of control, so they can't force path their way to freedom. And the Illyrian Reavers should be able to help pin them in and allow the Shadow Warriors to escape. In the backbones here, it does look like eventually the Spearmen and Rangers will be going down, but it certainly took considerable time and effort from the VP side. Shadow Warriors looking rather thin on ammunition right now, down to just 4 volleys each. This one unit has 5 volleys and 6, so I lied to you there. 4, 5, and 6 rather than all coming in with the 4. The bombers can easily finish off the Spearmen, but the double Arcane Phoenix plus the Archmage isn't that terrible in combat, and no magical support for the VP is really bad news for them. It looks like this unit of Shadow Warriors will most likely go down here. They're kind of almost ensnared by bullets, as well as the Night Terrors, though it looks like the Night Terrors did go up the chase because that rampage did unfortunately unfold for them. Shadow Warriors may break here, though. They're taking a lot of fire. Lovely little hit once again comes in by the Arcane Phoenix, followed up with a 2-for-1 punch. Your fire on your back, archers in your face. It is not going well for this zombie pirate Gunnery mob bomber, who's done a decent job, though, up to 51 kills so far. Looks like the Arcane is surrounded and isolated, as remaining VP units do get picked apart here by pretty damn good late game management coming in by the RTK man himself. Now, the Night Terrors have somehow managed to hold the line a little bit from that deadly charge from the Archmage, but down they go, and with that, army losses kicks in. GG's, well played. That early snipe was decisive in securing the victory there, just taking out the enemy lord with a flick of the wrist. That was some devastating stuff. Devastating stuff. So you can see Celestia 91 value. How much did the Archmage get? 1.9k damage value. Oh, it's so scary. That Soul Quench is like, oh, there's no artillery for it to take out. Soul Quench is going to be alright. It's not going to be great. I was so wrong. My god, that eviscerated Blackthorn's general and instantly just put all the emphasis, all the momentum straight away on the High Elves, and it was their game to lose from that point onwards, and they certainly did not do that. They did not lose. So 1,900 value on the Archmage, 25 kills. Beautiful Archmage play. Love the snipe there. The Rangers, 497 value. The Spearmen didn't do too much, 350 and 33 value on them, but you know, they bogged down the enemy, held them back, and it bought time for the Shadow Wars, which is really what this build's about. Shadow Wars themselves, 19, 4, 56, 44, and 46 kills apiece, 900 damage value, 360, 850, 680, and 1,163. As for the Reavers, they did die in droves, but, you know, 62 kills, 860 value, and 440 value isn't the end of the world. They are relatively cheap units, and they did a good job as, once again, at protecting those Shadow Warriors. Arcane Phoenix's 630 and 320 value is really disappointing, but they're both very healthy going into the later stage of the game. Didn't really have to get their beaks too down and dirty in the blood of their enemies. Social Diaphin, 0 kills, 90 damage value, of course, is going to be great for her. Is there any big standouts here? I mean, the Bombers, 400 value, 300 value. Sirens got picked apart, of course. And the poor bloody Reaver Deck Guard, I'm so upset. Only 20 value and 1 kill on them. But I must admit, Blackthorn did bring the memes pretty damn hard, and they were quite glorious to watch. 770... 550 and 100 on the Gunnery mob. Scurry Dogs just committed early, and it did not work for them. Animated Hulks, 220, 35 damage value. Even the mighty Night Terrors, who did manage to get to grips with some Shadow Warriors for a decent prolonged engagements, just shy of 600 value on them. That was nasty. GG, well played. It is going to be Langwell up next. What was this, Blackthorn? What exactly did Celestia do to you? She deserves some more minutes in the game. Yeah. Just because of magic missiles. Yeah, magic missiles are pretty nasty. Looks like Blackthorn's going to go either Skaven or Empire. And then we'll have to wait to the counter pick. I believe, I keep calling him Charax. I believe it's actually Zarix is his name. But I'll have to double check for him at that at some point. Zarix is going to be 1 up here. Let's do that on the scoreboard. Boop, boop, boop. 1 up here in this best of 3 semi-final. Let's see if the other guys have finished. Awesome. Looks like there's a load of news coming out. Oh my god, is that... What? So I think there's been some news dropped from Total War. I don't know where they got this from. Let me check this is like an official thing that's come out. I don't want to like get you guys' hopes up. I don't know where that news came from, so I'm not going to mention that on stream just yet. That's something being said in one of my chats on Discord. If that's true, I will double check after this game if that's true, and if it is, I'm going to announce something pretty damn cool live on stream here for Total War Warhammer 3. But until then, you guys, I'm unfortunately going to have to wait. So let's quickly double check and see how the other bracket is doing. It looks like we're still waiting on the winner between Vernon and Tim Wilder. So that's probably gone to game 3 there. Hopefully they will be finished by the time we get this glorious game done. So let's pop back into game and see what these guys have gone for. It looks like Zarix is considering greenskins, but hasn't quite gone for it yet. They cannot catch the Shadow Warriors anymore or kill the tank Phoenixes, but props to Scrap. And yeah, it was a nice little scrap despite, you know, the big Soul Quench Glock to the face in the early days. Give us some Beastmen, almighty Crowfather. Players, Blackthorn, Zarix. People demand. The people demand the Crowfather for sure. Hey Ducky, are you going to miss the dwarfs in Warhammer 3? I certainly will miss the dwarfs. It is pronounced CH, so Charax. Okay, am I going to miss the dwarfs in Warhammer 3? Honestly, they're going to be in probably quite early. They're not going to be in on release, but they did say that they don't want to have such a long gap like they did between Game 1 and 2 of the new factions being brought into the campaign map and multiplayer and everything. So I'm not going to miss them too much, I don't think, because I'm going to be so excited with all the new tools, the new units, the new factions, enjoying all of that when the dwarves come in, it'll only just, make my heart sing even happier. But also getting my precious lizardmen back will be pretty huge. Eating my broccoli and watching the Warhammer memes, this is the way. This is the way to a healthy, balanced, nutritious lifestyle. What is the source? I'm trying to find out the source, Major Muller. That's the thing. I don't want it to be something that, like shouldn't have been said or something, or is, just fake. I don't want to, bring news to you guys if it's not real. And I can't find anything on their Discord. Because it looks awesome what is said. But I'm on their Discord and I can't see any news. If you guys find a way to see any news that Total War has dropped recently, it could be crazy. Okay, I think it's not a reputable source. Okay. Someone was saying something from Reddit, I think, so who knows if it's true or not. Who knows if it's true or not. So, it looks like Charix is how it's pronounced, so CH instead of the Z. Charix is going Beastmen, so we are getting Beastmen. We're not getting the Crowfather, though. He is going for the sub-faction for the Mighty Torx of Bra's Bull. I do not think he has had his Scarf DLC yet, so he is, of course, still vulnerable to death. And it looks like we're going for Skaven. So, Charix is I'm scared. I'm scared of this. Because normally you don't want to go Skaven into Beastmen, but Blackthorn is a mad lad. So, there is certainly potential for some wild builds. 100%. What's up, David the White Lizard? How's it going, champ? Hope you're all good in the hood. Haven't seen you in quite some time. Hope everything's going good for you, man. How awesome would it be if the first DLC was Chaos Dwarfs and a regular dwarf faction? That would be pretty damn awesome. I heard the YouTubers will get to play Warhammer free and show it off before release. Yeah, that happens in almost all the content that Crave Assembly tend to release. So people, you kind of get the big YouTubers get early access I don't know, say 2 weeks in advance, and then the smaller YouTubers will get access a week in advance. That type of thing tends to happen, but this is Warhammer free, so I don't know, what's going to happen with that. Maybe they won't do that. I think it's been announced today that some people have been able to release stuff this week and so on. So I guess they are doing something like that, but I'm not sure fully. I don't know what their plans are and stuff. Obviously, with it being a new game and everything. It's not that Zyphon, no. But again, it's I think it's just a Reddit thing from a non-reputable source, so. Yeah, I saw the Great Book of Grudges announcement. So I think some of the big YouTubers are getting to release stuff on the 19th, I think, which is very cool, which I believe is this Wednesday. So we're all going to get to see some Total Warhammer 3 gameplay, hopefully, which I'm really excited for. Yeah, for Warhammer 3, yeah. So I think, Darv, Turin, and so forth, hopefully we'll all be able to release, their stuff on that day. We can get a little sneak peek. I'm very excited for Kislev in particular to check out their stuff, because we got a load of Kislev at the start, and then Kislev, we haven't heard anything from them in ages, because them and Khorne were so hyped up initially, and I want to bring that Kislev fire back. I want to bring that full polar bear themed build back into my mind and into my heart, and try and get it going for the start of Warhammer 3. But we're going to be going pretty ham here on the channel when Warhammer 3 does come out. Don't you guys worry. I'm going to be doing probably 2 videos a day when we can first get our hands on all the good stuff. And doing loads of streams, loads of tournaments. It's going to be really good fun. It's going to be really good fun. So, let's quickly check out the build. So we are loaded in here. Now, a counterpick with Skaven into Beastmen. We've seen Blackthorn is a madman already, coming in with Slosher on foot and some animated hulks. Let's see what glorious madness he has for us. Now, it is Skaven slaves dotted through the front line. They're not particularly happy to be there. They're being forced here by their masters, but they shall fight in the name of the Great Horned Rat, or at least die trying. We do have some warp fire throwers, so double warp fire throwers is going to be pretty cool up against the lightly armored Beastmen. The main battle line, we have Storm Vermin with halberds mixed in with with more Storm Vermin as well as Plague Monk Sensor Bearers. These disgusting, sickly Skaven troops really can bring a quite disgusting amount of damage to the battlefield, though they are very susceptible to enemy missile pressure. Though it looks like there isn't going to be any enemy missiles coming in for them today. Backing them up, we do have Skaven Slave Slingers dotted through the middle. Where is the General? I don't know if he's going to be able to top slosh a Diaphen. It looks like we have a double assassin as well as a foot Icket Claw. Hell yeah. So one of the assassins, of course, has Rival High Talisman. And then we have a foot Icket. No way. He actually has a little flamethrower on him, which we never get to see. And it's such a cool animation. So he's coming in today with a Warp Lightning. We have Death Frenzy, Howling Warp Gale, and the Brass Orb. Very cool build. For the forces of the Beastmen, it is going to be your typical double Ferromanticore up in the skies, Taurox the Brass Ball down low on the grounds. We have a Brave Shaman of Wild coming in with Traderkin. We have Chaos Spawn Rush coming in, which is quite traditional here. Triple Chaos Spawn. We also have a unit of Tuskor Chats out on the left-hand side. Main battle line is Ungors. Gore Herds are dotted all the way along. Very fun stuff. And it looks like we actually have a couple of Vanguarded troops as well in the form of double Chaos Warhounds looking to get into the enemy back line. But they're going to be met man to man. And it looks like we actually have the Wheels of Doom as well lurking currently in the trees. So the Skaven are going to have to push forward. They're currently unleashing hell upon the enemy. The Ungor Raiders are charging into the Skaven Slaves. And oh my god, the Warp Fire throw damage is quite frankly disgusting. Look at those Ungor Raiders taking so much damage, and the Wheels of Doom just rolling through the Ungors in the front. We do have a Brass Orb go down on the Gore Herds, doing some pretty nice work. Tuskor Chats are starting to form their way into the trees now and overwhelm the Skaven formation on the left. Looks like this unit of Warp Fire Throws shall be going down. We are about to see a big fat Howling Warp Gale go down, though, attempting to pin these Ferromanticores in place as long as possible. Taurox is starting to get ahead of steam and start pushing into the enemy. Wheels of Doom doing some lovely damage. Those Gore Herds are getting roasted. Look at the pain. Oh my god, that is just vomit-inducing. Warp Fire Throwers OP, man. We never see them in action, and look at the carnage. If they can turn and shoot on the Chaos Spawn only have 10 armor, they can do some massive work. And unfortunately, the battle's like taking place massively in the trees right now. We do have Taurox Brass Ball and the Manticore starting to push in. Icket needs to be careful. He does pop Death Frenzy on him, but Taurox plus a Manticore will cut his head off, tree or no tree. Storm Vermin with Death Frenzy, though, starting to push in. Tuskor Chats are going down on this right-hand side. Skaven Slave Slingers are whistling some shots into the Chaos Spawn blubbery flesh, who have managed to actually run over the Warp Fire Throwers. Tuskor Chats and Warhounds now starting to collapse down here on the left. Really lovely sandwich. Beautiful play by the Beastmen player to actually just take this unit of Storm Vermin, grab them by the neck and start wringing them out. Although the Wheels of Doom are nearby and they're up to 62 kills, which is pretty impressive work. Now, Double Assassin is going to be going after the Brave Shaman here. We have seen Assassin's Trophy has been popped, as well as trying to take out this Ferromanticore who's duking out with Icket Claw, who does actually have anti-large, but Taurox Brass Ball is on the warpath and the approach. Warhound's being used really effectively so far to rear attack the enemy, but it looks like the Storm Vermin, the elite of the elite, are actually holding the line here alongside the Wheels of Doom, who is having to fall back itself, get away from that Manticore, who has been pinned in place now by the Howling Warp Gale. Ferromanticore does start to go on a bloodthirsty rampage and is doing some big damage to these assassins. Icket Claw is barely clinging on for dear life. Taurox Brass Ball is just carving at his head, trying to take it off his shoulders. Brass Orb does go down, but Icket likewise does start to flee here. Now, Warp Fire Throws are back online. They're burning down the forest as well as enemies and friends, doing some pretty big damage to the Chaos Spawn, but the Warhounds do recognize the threat and instantly start to bound upon them. Chaos Spawn trying their best hitting amongst here with the Ferromanticore to take down the Wheels of Doom, which has been a big thorn in the side of the Beastmen forces so far. Now, the Chaos Ferromanticore, or Beastmen Manticore I should say, has done a really good job here, just cycle charging the assassins to death. This is one of the problems with third characters. They're very susceptible to being bullied like this. One assassin down, the other one's going to be getting chased off by the Brave Shaman, and it looks like Icket is being just slaughtered right now by Taurox the Brass Bull, who beats his chest with his mighty axes and goes to hunt the little Skaven mister off the battlefield. Some Storm Vermin are starting to rally in the back here. The rest of the Beastmen forces are starting to overwhelm the enemy, but we still have Storm Vermin with Halberds in the center, which are doing relatively okay. They're actually holding back tides of the enemy, though Chaos Spawn is starting to get down and dirty amongst the Storm Vermin with swords and shields. The Wheels of Doom is going to be bounding around up to a impressive 66 kills so far. Going to be smashing in to the rather nasty Chaos Spawn. Some lovely shots coming off as well. He kind of fires shots in all different directions, akin there to, I believe it's Icket Claw on his Mighty Doom Wheel does a similar animation. Chaos Spawn are going to be able to surround the Skaven, and it looks like this could be the end of the evil reign of Ikit Claw. We do have some Warpfire throws as well as Skaven Slave Slingers attempting to save him here by burning the flesh of Taurox. Unfortunately, their fires are not heated high enough to melt the brass from his body, and he's taken basically no damage from them. They're really good up against the majority of Beastmen, but Taurox is the exception, being one of the only heavily armored units for the Beastmen forces, though he is getting a rather nasty shower straight point blank range to the face, and he's not a big fan of that whatsoever. Skaven being scattered to the winds. Lovely play here by the Beastmen as well. Just use the chariots to bound around, use the Warhounds as well to hunt down troops, and the Ferroman's Corps does now stand proudly and victorious over the corpse of the Wheel of Doom, and then he flies up into the skies once more to take a bigger gaze off the battlefield and see where his power is needed next. But it looks like it isn't needed anywhere because the Beastmen do claim victory. Yeah, Jetpack Ikit, man, he needed to boost around the place there, but unfortunately, he does go down with 29 kills and 400 value. A valiant effort from Blackthorn, really putting the memes into DBD there, doing some glorious builds, but alas, it was not enough to fight down the might of Taurox the Brass Bull. 29 kills, 400 value on Ikit, lovely play there. 500 and 640 value on the Double Assassin. Skaven Slaves obviously didn't do too much, but that is not their job. Let's see how the elite Skaven infantry fared. 60 kills on this unit of Stormbow and Halberds with 940 values, pretty impressive. 500 on the Plague Monk Censer Bearers and 930 with 99 kills. Stormvermin with Swords and Shields got 105 and 83 kills with 970 and 720 value. Skaven Slave Slingers unfortunately did not do too much. Warpfire Throwers 455 and 176 damage value. The big damage they did was on cheap units, just taking away that HP. 90 kills, 780 value on the Wheels of Doom is pretty damn badass. As for Charax, Taurox the Brass Bull got 1.2k damage value and was basically unscathed in the latter stages of the battle there. 68 kills and 565 value on the Brave Shaman of Wild is pretty impressive. The Ungors didn't do too much, carved their way through a load of smelly vermin. 1000 value on the dot and 92 kills for that Tuskor Chariot. Still a very powerful unit despite its buff not too long after it came out. Good play by the Warhounds as well. Manticores 500 and 860 value. Chaos Spawn all in the high hundreds to early thousands there for damage value wise. Certainly not too bad whatsoever. GG's. Thanks for the games. No worries. I really respect all the memes. Indeed. GG. Cool. So we will be seeing Charax back for the final in a little bit. Probably about an hour's time, I would say, because we have another best of 3 to go first. Let's delve into that. So, oh my god, okay. If these leaks are true, so I keep getting pinned with leaks for the game, but if so, holy crap, we're in for some crazy stuff. Well, you guys will be able to go find it anyway, I'm sure. Alright, let's quickly... It is going to be Mofet versus Venin, so let's get them set up first. Awesome. Lobby is up. Let's link Mofet there as well. And let's change quickly the scoreboards. So that was a glorious there. 2-0 victory to Charax. And we will be seeing the man, the myth, the legend in the finals. Well played to Blackthorn, but alas, his time has come. Had a pretty good tournament though. Got all the way here to the semi-finals. But up next, it is going to be Mofet taking on, I believe it's Vernon is how you say his name. Let me double check. It is spelled like this, but I believe it is German, so I believe that WE sound would be a Venom. Who knows? Who knows? You can tell I'm not well traveled. Let's hop in here. Get the lads in, send them a message, and the map shall be Pillar of Bone, Tower of Hoeth, and Mirror Woods for this second best of 3. Needed more Wheels of Doom? 100%. 100% we needed more Wheels of Doom. The Warfire throws doing literally 0 damage on Taurox is such a meme, for sure. For sure. Yeah, I wanted to see his flamethrower do work, but alas, it was not to be. So, this is not from, like, a reputable source, I don't think. I don't know where it's from. But people have posted on Reddit, so I'm assuming it's fine for me to, like, say on stream. I have literally no idea if this stuff's legit or not. But apparently, people on Reddit are saying that you can do multiplayer of up to 8 players, and you can play 8-player, like, campaign map? Which sounds pretty cool. And people are also saying you can create your own demon princes and stuff, which seems really awesome. I mean, the massive multiplayer campaign would be crazy because you could do like campaign tournaments, like Last Man Standing, like 8 people playing campaign Last Man Standing. It'd be wild. It'd be freaking awesome. I would definitely host one of those really early on in the life cycle of Game 3. But again, this is stuff that's just being posted on Reddit, so I mean, take it with a massive grain of salt. I have no idea if that stuff's legit or not. But, you know, who knows? And the problem is with this type of, like, information, early on in, or, like, when, like, a game's about to come out, you see a load of this stuff and half it gets made up, sadly. It's kind of very similar to when, like, an album's about to release and they drop a load of, like, fake track lists and stuff. So who knows? I don't know who put it up. Maybe, Total War put this up on Reddit. I'm sure you guys will be able to go and, find the stuff. Let's quickly message, Mofet. Lobby is up. So he should be on his way. And let's message Vernon as well. Lobby's up. 1, 2, 3. Good stuff. And we will switch the map now to the mighty Pillar of Bone. There we go. As we wait for these players. What's up, Charax? How's it going? Hope you're all good. Yeah, Thorny Boy came in with some pretty damn cool builds. Blackthorn certainly is the winner in my heart. Zypher, honestly, you couldn't have said it any better, man. You couldn't have said it any better. High Elf win, me like it. What's up, Nafis? How's it going? Glad you enjoyed the High Elf one earlier on. Glad you enjoyed it. They think the Reddit fin is translated from Russian magazine. Yeah, I don't want to, like, I don't know. I haven't, like, looked into it, so I don't want to get you guys' hopes up on something that I just don't know if it's legit or fake or what. Yeah, that's some wild leaks. So you're doubtful. That's what I mean. But, like, that would be insane. Like, if you could customize, like, the looks of your lords and stuff, and if you could play, like, honestly, if you could do an 8-player campaign, I would get 8 people together, well, I guess 7 people and me, because I'd have to stay in there and then throw myself off and, like, concede early, and run, like, a Last Man Standing campaign. It'd be so good. It'd be a wild, long live stream, but it'd be really good fun. It'd be really cool. What's up, Shogunuk, man? Long time no see. Hope you're all good. Park Rilla as well. I heard some of your music, Park Rilla. It was very cool, by the way. Logic showed me some of your music. I was very impressed, man. Yeah, Charax managed to get through. Werner is here. Hey. Well done on getting this far. Cool, I've sent Mofit a message. We'll give him a couple of minutes to load up the game and so on. Cool. I had a load of messages on Discord, but they were not luckily related to this, so I can sort them out a little bit later on. So we'll be Charax in the final. It is a best of 5 final as well, but to see who gets there, of course, we will do this best of 3 semi between Vernon and Mofet. What's up, man? Let me see your name quickly. Get my phone a little bit close to my face. Morris Reven says, hi everyone, first time tuning in for one of these tournaments. What are the rules? So, there is a lovely set of community rules called the Fruit Rules at the moment. It's what we're using. They basically limit unit spamming of certain units, or like certain like too many powerful units, and you basically must always be attacking. Those are the basic rules you really need to know. You can't sit back and never attack with anything, and you can't spam like too many of one type of unit. Those are the basic rules. It is best of 3, so the way this works is obviously you have to win 2 games to qualify, and if it goes 1-1, then you still have to win that second game. So there's minimum of 2 games in these rounds, maximum of 3 games. The final will be best of 5, and that's about it. Players will pick factions, and their opponents will counterpick them, and it's just a never-ending cycle of madness and war. But I hope you're here, man. I hope you're going to be here and having a good time. It's hard to catch live streams these days, but enjoy watching the videos. Yeah, the videos have been bumping recently, guys. Thank you so much for the support, honestly. My videos have been doing really good recently. Been very happy. Yo, yo. Well done on getting this far. maps are Pillar of Bone, Tower of Oath, and Merowitz. Cool, just let them know what's going on there. And it looks like Mofa has picked Chaos and Dark Elves. He definitely is also a really talented Vampire Count player, and I've seen him play Dwarves before as well. Understood. Thanks, Duck. No worries, man. No worries at all. Welcome to Aerocratic Expand the Rules. Aerocratic decided to take a break after the Warhammer World Championships, and I think permanent. I think he's like stepped away basically. So the banner rules just never really got like fully updated, and fruit rules kind of were basically banner rules with a few alterations, and they kind of took over the main. So the most of stuff I'm doing now for my tournaments, I think going into Warhammer 3, is I'm using fruit rules as a basis, and then just changing one or two things, tinkering around, until we've got like that perfect formula just ready to go for game 3. But of course, there's so many variables with a new game coming out, and sure, the rules will need heavily changing anyway. Hopefully for the better, where we don't need as many rules, because I think the amount of rules we have is really bad for new players and really daunting and quite off-putting. So hopefully, they spoke ages ago about a new game mode, which I think they said was like kind of like Shogun's one, which would be great, because it means we could take away basically all attacking rules, all rules about white line camping. Like, you could cut the rules down to like, I don't know, half of what they are now, which would be so good. So good. Don't worry, guys, I'm back. Finished my broccoli. I was trying to stay strong and not let chat know, Jesse, that I was really worried that you weren't going to return. But now you're back. I can kind of, you know, I can breathe. I can breathe. Whoever picks Norska wins. Man, Matthew, I don't know if you watched it or if you were there. I did a one-build Battle Royale tournament the other day where I actually played Norska in my own tournament and did really well. I won't spoil the results for you guys on how far I got or whatever, but if you want to see some good Norska games, you can certainly go there. So it is me, Beastmen versus Dark Elves. I think that's a smart counter pick by Mofa. I think Dark Elves are solid up against Beastmen. Solid for sure. Cathay Air Force, build hunting down Khorne, Slanesh, and Nurgle without return to fire. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's going to be juicy. But Khorne and Slanesh and Nurgle do have answers to air, unfortunately. I believe Nurgle have some flies of their own, and Khorne definitely, probably Slanesh, at least from what I think, do have Furies and stuff to chase down the enemy. Get ready for that growth when Game 3 drops. A free-for-all with you, Tori, Milk, and Darva would be a dream. Hey, I hope so. People keep telling me, like, oh man, hold up to Game 3, dude. Your channel's going to blow up. And people have been saying this to me for like a year. So, I don't know. I'm skeptical. I always feel like I don't have the luck on those type of things. But hopefully, I'd be obviously quite glad of that. There were capture points in Rome too, I think, but they did not work. They did not work then. It'd be just a fin for Warhammer Battles. It'd be so cool, Major Muller. It'd be so cool to have like the capture points and stuff. I also really want to have forests and buildings and stuff on the map which you can enter with units, and it gives them buffs or debuffs depending on what terrain it is a little bit more, like it was on tabletop. Like, you could capture a tower, it'd give you extra range on your troops, but of course you have then no mobility from that point onwards, so you could have them overlooking key elements of the battlefield or forests which you don't know what they are. When you go into them, you'll either get a buff or a debuff, like mysterious woods and this kind of stuff. There's so much potential. So as Beastmen vs Dark Elves, Vernon is ready to rumble, representing the mighty clan GGX here. Mofet riding solo. What's up, Rubik's Raptor? How's it going, champion? Hope you're all good. Long time no see. Rubik's Raptor, aka one of the best YouTubers in all of the realms. And I'm not even just saying that because he's in my chat, though that does give you a bit of a bonus. Honestly, does some really cool armor content, which if you are into that type of game, 100% go check him out. But Rubik's Raptor, absolute lad. Hope you're enjoying the stream so far, buddy. We need to get some games in, particularly when Game 3 pops out. When Game 3 comes out, I'm going to be messaging everyone, like, everyone, to me, rally to the mighty Kislev bear cult. We shall take the multiplayer scene by storm. Give us the Crow Father. Maybe there's a chance. There is a chance. I don't think it's likely. I mean, he's very fast, Simrathi. I don't think we'll be able to catch the mighty Crow Father in the skies, but the amount of micro you'd have to use would be pretty horrifying. Pretty horrifying for sure. Yeah. It's the same, like, buildings were around from Napoleon. I know it's like a different type of game. Cool, looks like they're ready to rumble, so let's hop into this. I was like a lot more range focused. This is also one of the reasons that I really want to push. Obviously, I think they don't need enough pushing. I don't think me saying, hey, you should do this is going to make much difference to Crave Assembly, of course. But like 40k, Warhammer 40k Total War would be so good. Yes, you had to bring in buildings and all this other different stuff, but it is definitely possible with a little bit of imagination. You're down for some Total War binging for free? Ah, Rubik's. As soon as you get your hands on the game, man, drop me a message, and I will be down just to go ham with Game 3. I'm so excited. How many weeks away is it now? Is it like... It's less than a month, right? To the release of the next game? I think it'll be like 3.5 weeks or something crazy. Maybe just 3 weeks now. So alas, we do not have the Crow Father. I apologize. I can only apologize to you guys, chat. We do not get to see him in action. We do once again have Torx of Brass Bull, which is to be expected. It's basically like being Dark Elves and not bringing Marathi, right? Being Beastmen and not bringing Taurox. So we have Torx of Brass Bull. We have the Bray Shaman of Wild coming in with the Glorious Traitorkin there. I believe that's Devolve as well. Lovely little 2-for-1 combo. A load of Centaurs with thrown axes are going to be making up the front of the battalion. We have some Gore herds as well as Ungore spear herds making up the main battle line. And then it's a load more mobility. Just 4 units of Centaurs, triple Razor Gore herds. Very competitive standard Beastmen build. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's competitive and good for a reason. It's definitely something that you've probably seen and played against and practiced with. But it is still very, very powerful. Now for the forces of the Dark Elves, up in the skies we do have the wonderful, the rather lovely and enchanting Marathi. This was a post I was forced to read out, written by Ice Power there. Marathi is actually horrible and quite evil, but hey, it is what it is. She's coming in with the Wand as well as Soul Stealer, Heartrender and Dark Sword and Enchanting Beauty. We have a double Scourge Runner Chariots, a small contingent of Dread Spears and Bleak Swords making up a rather small front line. We do have double Witch Elves though, which is going to be a little bit more slice and dice in the meat grinder. We have Sisters of Singing Doom and a basic unit. 1 unit of Dark Riders in the back, double Manticore in the sky as is tradition. Double Canine Assassin down on the ground. And the Raven Heralds up in the skies. Now, this is probably the most exciting pick here. And it's actually pretty good and competitive because you use them to snipe out enemy characters and chariots. We have them sniping. We have Scourge Runner Chariots who have the potential to snipe. Double Assassin, double Manticore. There is so much scary stuff about this Dark Elf build. And it really does have me worried. But the Centaurs never write them off. Centaurs can 1v1 anything on their day. They really do have that potential to scale massively with effective micro and cycle charging. Taurox, how bold. I love that. I do love that. That Bray Shaman of Wild is gonna have a really bad day unless there is some god tier micro coming out of Vernon here. And this may be his debut on the channel here. We've had a load of the GGX guys before. Lovely clan, really awesome people. So hopefully we have him a bit more on the channel in the future. But this may be his debut here. Scourge Runner Chariots are falling back, as are the Raven Heralds. Need to ensure they don't waste their ammo, though. They definitely want to be piling onto the Bray Shamans, though hitting Centaurs with thrown axes isn't the worst idea in the world either. Now, Centaurs and Razor Gores, if they're able to surround Manticores and Marathi, they will drag them down. They do have that kind of damage output, though they themselves can be rather susceptible to missile pressure. Thrown axes trying to force back those pesky Raven Heralds. It looks like, oh, is the split going to happen in time? The spell does go down. It is a Soul Stealer. Lovely play by Venom, though. He managed to dodge with 2 of his units. That Soul Stealer, pretty useless, only catching 1 Centaur there. Now, in the main battle line, Gore herds are going to be smashing in to the Bleak Swords, who are going into a rather odd formation here. I think that's just the way their front line set up. I was wondering if he was attempting that kind of zombie tactic you do with vampire counts to slow the enemy's roll, but Centaurs are just slamming into the front line. They care not what they hit, as long as they hit something and they hit it hard. Dark Riders were baited out by some lovely play here by the Beastmen, using their Centaurs to pull them away, and now jumping them with more Centaurs and Razor Gore herds. That's a bad day for the Dark Riders 100%. Witch Elves, though, are on the warpath and the approach. Bray Shaman of Wild is pushing in, looking to run over some Bleak Swords, and Taurox is just bounding towards the battle. Head lowered, roaring as he runs his way through some Bleak Swords and surveys the battle from a rather bloody position. Double Manticores may swoop in after him, though. Centaurs a slamming rear charge. They are banging those Witch Elves. My God, look at the HP just disappear. That was disgusting play. Likewise, we have a load of thrown axes coming in for support. Looks like the Dark Elves going for that big snipe, and they are going to get it here. They come in and we do get a Web of the Shadows go down. Slowing down the Brave Shaman there, who is being terrified and forced off. Web of Shadows does go down as well as Assassin's Trophy on Torque's Brass Ball. Brass Body has been popped, and there's a load of Centaurs to support. So, in the main fight, it's been a relatively even trade. The Beastmen certainly had the advantage on the right-hand flank, but the assassination of the caster is pretty big. It looks like they have actually managed to rally and come back, though, but the Dark Elf players should be able to finish them off, you would assume, if they divert their attention over to them. But currently, they're going after Torque's Brass Ball with Brass Body popped. Might be a bit of a mistake, because it is buying time for Venin to come in with Centaurs, Ungor herds, and start to bog down this little core of Dark Elf resistance. In the far side, you can see the Raven Heralds are well and truly alive. Razorgore herds, though, are butchering Witch Elves left, right, and centre, and the Centaurs have actually been allowed to catch the Squadron of Chariots, that they may break before the Chariots actually break, which is really good news here for the Dark Elf player. We got some units which need to be activated. Some Gore herds just moved forward. Torque's Brass Ball is still hanging on in there just about, but many a Centaur and Ungor has been sacrificed into the enemy hero core meat grinder just to try and keep him alive. Wand does come down, doing some pretty big damage. Now, the Scissor Singing Doom are basically dead. Raven Heralds are starting to dwindle a little bit on ammunition, and Torque's does go in for the kill on Marathi, with a large Traderkin going down as well. Razorgores have committed to the fight. This is really crucial on who's going to win the day. With an Assassin and double throw Manticore in here, I think Torque's is fighting a losing battle in the middle. Double Assassin, as the second one is starting to move in here, popping a Web of Shadows. Gore herds are on approach, and it looks like the Dark Elves have saved their backline a little bit. Scourge Runners have been using all their ammunition up and can now be moved into hand-to-hand combat. Assassin's Trophies goes down on Torque, so he probably doesn't want to fight this at the moment. Centaurs are being forced in just to try and allow Torque a bit of breathing space. Let him pull out and escape. We do get a nasty Soul Seal, and this time Vernon wasn't able to dodge it. It catches so many units. Dark Elves in a massive, massive commanding lead right now, as it looks like the Brave Shaman is about to be sniped by the Scourge Runner Chariots. That last volley, in fact, the end of the ammunition, finishes him off. Raven Heralds doing those 360 no-scopes, cackling and laughing from their high ground, shooting down at Torox and just being a big pain in the butt, because those arrows won't really crack his brass skull, but it's certainly going to hurt and be an annoying itch. Well played to Vernon, well played to Mofa. Really close game, but in the end of the day, what can men do, or what can beasts do against such reckless Marathi, who got 62 kills, not quite 69, she was nearly there, but got 1,420 damage value on herself, 830 and 400 on the assassins. Such a beautiful threat they are. Mid-hundreds for the ground troops. Unfortunately, the Witch Elves got absolutely bumped. 360 and 550 value on them, not having a good day. Raven Heralds 877 value, Scourge Runners 1k and just shy of 1k on the second unit. Manticores 770 and 650 value. Real kind of good play in general, very standard Dark Elf build, but I love the inclusion of the Raven Heralds. I think they have a nice niche here. Torque's Brass Ball, only 6 kills, 420 value, has basically been assaulted at all times. 230 on the Brave Shaman. The Infantry Corps, really low hundreds, the highlight being 587 value on this Gore Herds with 83 kills. Centaurs are your bread and butter. They're your standard Beastmen play. You need to get good with them if you want to be a good Beastmen player, and they will look after you. They got 1.1k value, 243, 542, and 730 value on them. Thronax has fared far worse, not being able to get on good targets. Razorgores likewise, again, mid to low hundreds damage value-wise, which is a bit of a shame. Up next, we will be moving on to the Tower of Hoeth. Let's get that up and running. Oh. My game sound is gone. I'll rejoin quick. No worries. He's picking up Vampire Counts and Greenskins. Did you well played? So let us quickly update the score here. Mofet is taken. A 1-0 advantage here into this best-of-3 semi-final. But have no fear, guys. This is not the last kind of matchup of the day. We will have Charix facing the winner of this in a best-of-5 final just after. GG, boys. GG indeed. Good evening, chat. Yo, what's up, Rebane? How's it going, man? I hope you're all good. Long time no see. I know you'll be taking a little bit of break from Total War. I'm assuming the news about Warhammer 3 has brought you into the fold once more. I'm so excited for it, man, honestly. It's going to be good fun. What's up, Fimo? Quack, quack, good sir. Yeah, the Dawn of War 2, Major Miller, I think it was called Retribution Mod or something. Their competitive scene was really awesome. And yeah, they had buildings in their game as well. Though it was slightly different style of game, I suppose. It's an RTS, but you built units on the battlefield, which I guess is like the traditional way. See, Cypher, Rebane has returned, I told you, boys. One day, the Messiah, the king of memes himself, Rebane, would come to our call. It looks like he has indeed returned. double hero, double big monster always seems to be strong. It is very powerful. It is very powerful for sure. Now it should be fine. Okay. You saw a little leak? Yeah, I mentioned the leak on stream, Rebane. But I don't know, like, you know, how legit and so forth it is, so I did tell one it's a grain of salt. But you were saying, like, there's... Someone on Reddit's posted you can do, like, 8-player campaigns and stuff, and you can do, like, customizing your lords and stuff, which seems insane, which seems really cool. I'm hyped. I'm dubious. But if it is true, then it's going to be freaking insane. It's going to be so good. We'll have to wait and see. So it is going to be Norska versus Vampire Counts. Ooh. I would have gone Greenskin, for sure, if I was Vernon here. I think I know what we're going to see from Mofet. I think we're going to see the dreaded double War Shrine Mammoth. Double Mammoths can be pretty good against Vampire Counts. I actually don't hate the Marauder Chieftain here on the Mammoth. You can bring him an item which gives him fire attacks, which means he's just able to outduel a lot of the single entities Vampire Counts can bring. It's really nasty. It is really nasty for sure. Let me quickly check Discord, make sure we've got no questions for anyone. Looks like we're all good in the herd. Cool. Checking through all the chat stuff. Looks like we are all gooder. Vampire Counts v Norska. This is, I think, pretty good for Norska nowadays. Pretty good for Norska. Norska, screams Matthew Coffin. 100%, bro. I love Norska, man. They're such a cool, fun, thematic faction. It's a real shame that... I mean, they're kind of becoming the people's champion faction because they're considered the worst faction in the game. So it's like, people root for Norska now, in the same way people used to root for Beastmen, and look how that turned out. Now we're all like, boo, Beastmen. So it does flip-flop back and forth, and I believe Creative Assembly have mentioned before that they don't think any faction is finished yet. As far as like updates and so on, and they specifically mentioned Norskrin, I think. They're like, Norska feel like they've been left behind, and we want to update them at some points, like during, I guess, Warhammer 3's life cycle. That's really exciting news, that Norska, you know, will eventually get their time in the sun. We just have to wait for it. Norskan Death Ball be rolling. Tuesday News Day tomorrow. I can't remember what day they normally drop news. Is it normally Tuesdays? I thought it was like Thursdays. Maybe I'm tripping. Because obviously, like, it used to always be the same day, but obviously, since Warhammer 3 and stuff, they've been like dropping news, you know, left, right, and center. Rebane, what are you saying, 8 people? What are we talking about? I played 20 games today? My god. It was sad, the difference between when I played Norska and Beastmen. 20 games in one day, Matthew. You're a madman. I play like 3 or 4. I'm like, cool, I'm done. That's why I can't grind, man. Cool. Venom is ready. Needs to scrap back, though. Mofet being 1-up is a little rough. And I think I've seen Mofet play this matchup before. It's normally Thursday. Yeah, I thought it was Thursday was normally their news day. So I always used to look forward to Thursday News Day from like Creative Assembly, right? And like Total War stuff. And then Friday morning is when music would have been released. So I guess it would be released like midnight Thursday. But a lot of music likes American. So new music tends to get released on the Friday because it's better for the charts or whatever. I don't know how it works, really. So I used to get like, oh, news about Total War. Oh, news from like one of my favorite like singers or something dropping something. Yeah. So everyone's saying, like, it all got leaked, but remember, we need to wait to see if this is, like, an actual source, because I've seen these things happen before, like, all the time, and it's just, like, it turns out to be fake. Because it seems like almost a dream come true, right? Like, it's too good to be true. But who knows? If it is true, that's gonna be crazy. That's gonna be crazy for sure. You would love a load of arch sword javelins on War Mammoth, kind of like a war wagon. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, like a Oliphant from Lord of the Rings. With the, is it Hadradrin? Something along those lines? I don't know, my Lord of the Rings lore is probably very dated and old now. Need to kind of whack the dust off that part of my brain. Screenshots look so real. I mean, hopefully it's true. Hopefully it's true. Only time will tell. But if, like, people are saying it was, like, leaked from a media source, which probably means that they're waiting to announce it, like, soon. Who knows? I always wait for, like, the official film before I, like, comment anything too much, because I'm like, I don't know, I don't want to get, like, people's hopes up or something, then it'd be wrong, and my own hopes up as well, so I always, like, chill out a little bit. By the way, for the forces of Vernon here, and the mighty vampire counts, we have zombies dotted all the way through the front line, and we have Heinrich Kemmler on horseback, super swaggy today, looking pretty damn badass. He is coming in with Invocation Heck and Raise Dead, so just the basic 2 spells today. He does have the Chaos Tombblade, we have the Lord of Undeath, and the Cloak of Mist and Shadows. Very cool named items. Sounds like something out of like a D&D campaign. Double Terrorgeist up in the skies. Main battle line will be a mixture of Graveguard and Skeleton Spearmen, including, I believe, some Regiment Renowned in here. Looks like the Regiment Renowned was in the form of the zombies. Just in the back here, we do have double Crypt Horrors, which is pretty cool, and a Corpse Carve Unholy Lodestone. So pretty badass build all around. I like the double Terrorgeist to threaten the enemy. And oh my god, the madness. The mad lad Mofet himself has brought double Frostworm up in the skies, looking pretty scary. We have triple Marauder Horsemasters down in the front, mixed in with some horsemen as well. So 6 cavalry. We have the Maws of Savagery, Regiment Round Armored Skinwolves, and then hiding in the trees, we do have a couple units of Marauders, as well as the Hero Corps. So we have a Shaman Sorcerer of Fire in here, and Wolfric the Wanderer coming in with all the goodies. We have Burning Head, Flaming Sword Rune, and Cascading Fire Cloak. So this is going to certainly be some crazy stuff. It's like a Norscan kite build with Frostworms. So, hey, who told you Norscan couldn't kite? We're about to find out today. We're about to find out today. Hey, 69 watching. It's on Reddit Total War front page. I was like, what, Total War like put it up? Or do you mean like it's just like the leak fins up there or something? Without further ado, let's get this battle underway. 2 Frostworms vibing up in the skies. Horsemen will be now darting across the battlefield as quickly as possible to get to grips with the enemy. Now, Mofet's going to have to be really, really patient and kind of regimented in how he uses ammunition. If he starts wasting ammunition on zombies and other such units, it's going to be a dreadful day for him. He needs that ammo to go into the Terrorgeist. Otherwise, the Terrorgeist could well bully the Frostworms up in the skies. Likewise, he's got a Corpse Cart to deal with. He has Crypt Horrors to deal with. He's got a lot of different problems for him. So the Undead going to be moving up to take the high ground. You can see Wolfric is bursting forth now from his defensive forest position, looking to charge down the enemy. And in come the Horsemasters. So it looks like they're not on fire at will, which is good news because you don't want them shooting into zombies. And the Terrorgeist simply going to fall back and dart left and right. We have more horsemen whipping around this flank. Need to be a little bit careful though. There are Crypt Horrors nearby, and all round what Vernon needs to do is basically force Mofet to use the ammunition up on units, which isn't really profitable for him. Just, you know, shooting zombies, shooting Graveguard even, and Skeleton Spearmen isn't the end of the world, as long as those Terrorgeists are allowed to stay alive. Now, the Crypt Horrors are about to take a load of damage, unfortunately. A load of different javelins do come in, trying to peg down the poor Crypt Horrors, who are taking considerable damage from them, unfortunately. There's got a little bit of lag here. It seems like it is starting to stabilize, which is good news for us. But the Horsemen have fully now surrounded the Vampire Counts, diving forward and trying once again to unleash their ammunition on the Crypt Horrors, which is a good target. Nearly getting caught by the zombies, but of course, horses are faster than undead, rotten flesh slumping towards them, as I'm sure you would be surprised to find out. Double Frostworm floating over as well, looking to find a good engagement. Terrorgeists have, of course, pulled away from the fight, which could open up a nice little pocket for the Frostworms to dive into. Now, we do have the Dire Pack here, as well as Heinrich Kemmler, trying to burst forth on top of the Horsemasters and drive them away, but alas, the trap was sprung a little bit too soon, and the Horsemasters luckily did manage to make a kind of way to freedom. The Horsemen continue to rotate around and just try to surround the Norscan player where possible, darting in and shooting. Looks like both players are saying good luck, have fun, as the mighty Frostworms do start to move over. With the Infantry Corps just way in the distance, I don't even know if these guys are moving forward or if they're just... No, they're just vibing. They don't want to get engaged in combat whatsoever. And the Terrorgeists against the Frostworms up in the sky is about to go down, perhaps. It looks like the Frostworms are happy to commit in this aerial fight due to the fact there is no range support. We get a Flaming Sword of Rune go down, down. Terrorgeist, one's going to charge in as the other falls back, trying to get that charge bonus to even the odds a little bit. And the second Terrorgeist then whips around. Really lovely micromanagement in the skies by Vernon there. As you can see, all the cavalry is starting to be forced back. The die pack hunting and snapping at the bit on the Marauder horseman there. More savagery are attempting probably to chop on top of the Crypt Horrors, I would assume here. You can see the Frostworms are retreating as more javelins are being launched in, trying to hit the dire pack here and actually drive them away where possible. More cavalry just rotating back around and away at the moment from the vampire counts. Up in the skies, it looks like the Frostworms got, bam, slapped up by the Terrorgeist, forcing a retreat here as javelins are starting to get wasted onto Graveguard and other units now, which is, you know, these are mistakes you need to make Mofet start to make, where he starts panicking, he's microing too much, and all of a sudden his units are starting to waste big elements of ammunition here. Die pack are going to be falling back. We have more cavalry moving forward, trying to jump this unit of zombies in combat, which, hey, if you can bring them quick enough, might be worth it. Terrorgeist can now get nice and aggressive over on the Frostworm. Zombies taking quite a few cycle charging hits now from the Horsemasters as the Maws of Savagery move into hand-to-hand combat. Once again, the Horsemen do push forward. The Die Pack are going to drive them away. Die Pack, very key unit here. They come in with that anti-large, which is going to be massive in the later stages of the battle once the Horsemen start to run out of ammunition. Zombies who have been left behind, it's kind of hard to protect your zombies, of course, they are very slow indeed. Do get jumped by the Maws of Savagery, and in the distance, we have Horsemen and Horsemasters saturated on top of the zombies. Zombies, though, you know, they're holding their own. They're beating back the enemy. They're trying to dish out some pain. If we look here, they have a mighty 91 damage value, which for a zombie is pretty impressive, let me tell you. Frostworms are looking pretty beat up now. The Terrorgeist can venture out here. There's only one unit of Horsemasters helping to protect, but I guess the Frostworms would most likely just run away. Cavalry continues to move around here as more Horsemasters drive their horses forward, trying to bring the pain probably to the Crypt Horrors would be my bet of a target. Terrorgeist is perhaps winding up a breath attack, but it does unfortunately get clipped there, and it looks like we're going to get a Flaming Sword rune now. This once again could be a bait. We saw Venom bait this out before. He then falls back and starts to cycle charge with his own single entities, and the Frostworms looks like they are maybe going for the kill here. We do get an Invocation Head go down, and we do have the Horsemaster supporting. The Frostworms take a big damage, though, every time the Terrorgeists are able to get their charge bonus off. It's really bad news for the Frostworms. Massive chunks now being taken out of them by the second Terrorgeist. Despite the Flaming Sword of Ruin, I think we got a little bit of better micro up in the skies by Venom so far, though this other Terrorgeist now needs to whip around and capitalize on the mismanagement of the Frostworms by Mofet, and you can see they are now being surrounded. This is simply an engagement which should not happen for the Norskans because they have such a bigger mobility advantage. Horsemasters do seem to be eating some attacks by the Die Pack as well, and you can see he's microing up in the skies to the Frostworms, and all of a sudden he starts losing units down on the ground. He does manage to get that micro back, though. Mofet, a beautiful micro player in general, very good with his play, but the Horsemasters do get eaten quite badly there, and Horsemen as well getting forced off. We get a nice breath attack, but one of the Frostworms does go down, and Vernon is well and truly back in this game. Invocation Heck are going to go down that Terrorgeist, which is getting relatively close to its healing cap here. Horsemasters continue just to pepper down, but once again shooting into zombies, shooting into Graveguard, and these Graveguard are the shield variety. Silver shields, 90 armor. It is not going to be very cost effective for the Horsemen and Horsemasters to do this. They have to be shooting the Crypt Horrors and the Terrorgeist, who can now make a push maneuver on to the Frostworm where possible. Ammunition is eventually going to run out here, though it will take us, of course, a tediously long time. Graveguard continue to push at the Shaman Sorcerer. Bit of a problem here. They've overextended themselves, and now the Maws of Savagery can jump on them, and the Horsemasters can move into combat, which is obviously not good news whatsoever. And likewise, Henrik Kemner needs to be careful. He gets caught by 100 champions here, and Warframe the Wanderer is going to be moving in. We do get a summon. The Frostworm is lurking. Do I go for the assassination attempt? Do I move in the Frostworm? I would say no, because the Terrorgeists are here, and all of a sudden, Wolfric is the one getting devoured. He wanted to kill Heinrich Kemner. The Frostworm might not have a choice here. It may well get forced into combat, as Wolfric does unfortunately have to bow his head out of that main engagement. Maws of Savagery can whip around, though, and perhaps turn the engagement on its head. There is Graveguard support and zombies nearby, but you can see the vampire counts spewing out across the battlefield here, and once again, once the pressure gets on, the javelins are all being launched into spearmen and zombies. Up in the skies, the Frostworm's being chased away. It looks like Wolfric did get off lightly there and was able to escape. Very close tactical game so far. Graveguard just eating shot after shot at the moment. There's so much ammunition left on these horsemen, though. You can see that it's only really been slowly trickled in, but again, it's now been aimed at regiment-renowned zombies and skeleton spearmen. So good patient play so far by both players, particularly the Vampire Count player. Holding your composure here can be really tough, but I think Mofet knows he can't win this at this point. He's used up lost one Frostworm, use about half his ammunition, and Vernon's just simply not falling for it. If you go for this type of, like, full kite build, and you know how to counter the kite build, it's almost as frustrating for the person doing that play as it is for the one who's getting kited around. And it looks like Mofet is actually going to bow out there, realizing, hey, I've used up half my ammo, and I've lost the Frostworm, and I've done basically nothing, unfortunately, to the vampire counts. The die pack will get a little bit low, only 500 value on them. Apologies about the cutout of the game there, but I understand the dropout as well, even though it was a bit of a tease, all that build up for nothing. The 1.3k value, and 1k as well on the Terror guys, so really the MVPs. Frostworms, yeah, both under 1,000, just over 1,000 damage value, this one under 1,000. And nothing came close to paying for itself. Like, this carries up like half its ammo, 62 value, 200 value. It's really unfortunate he just couldn't get on top of those good, juicy targets. GG's indeed. So up next, we will be moving on to the glorious Mirror Woods. There they are. Boop. Mirror Woods. Up next. 1 in, 2, pick 3, and ban 1. I never played on it. Decent amounts of woods. Some open areas. And lots of Vanguard options. And let's update the scoreboard. So, it is 1-0. Again, apologies guys about the little tease there, that we kind of got like half a game. But it did look like, I think they were starting to get like a relatively like dominant position. Check Discord. Yeah, no, I already have Logic. It's fine. Love the content. Keep up. Thank you so much, Jacob. Do. Cool. So I just got a load of messages on Discord that I'm close on out. Also behind main zone. Yeah, I think so, if I remember correctly. I'm pretty sure Mirror Woods you can like Vanguard like all the way around. Like, it's pretty scary. Mr. Ducky, which faction are you most excited to play in multiplayer? In Warhammer 3, Kislev. Kislev. I'm all about the bear life. All about the bare necessities, you know? I mean, Tzeentch as well look really good fun. All the demon factions look pretty good. But in particular, I'm very excited for Kislev. Got to wait for these players to sort it out. Again, I'm just going to be silence messages in the back, guys. But it is 1-0. Winner of this will go on to face Charax in a best-of-5 final. Very excited for what we get there. But it looks like Venom, he's got a little bit of thinking to do. The pick 3 ban 1 does mean you've got a little bit more options. I don't know who he mains. Mofet still has his vampire counts in the back pocket. They're like his main faction, at least from what I've seen of Mofet before. He can play dwarfs though. We did see him play dwarfs, I believe, against Void in the Champions of Renown tournament. But maybe he just thought they were really good in that matchup. I think it was against VP. So perhaps that's why he picked them, and maybe it's one of those situations where your opponent picks a faction, like, hey, you know, someone picked dwarfs. I hear high elves are really good against dwarfs. I never play high elves, so I'm going to pick high elves. And in that situation, I would say, you know, play what you're more familiar with than rather than just going with what you think the meta is, because all of a sudden you'll find yourself not knowing how to be OP in a certain matchup and so on. Matthew Cobbins is not a huge fan of the build. I'm assuming talking about the Norscan build. It was pretty interesting. I don't think it's the best way to deal with vampire counts. I love the double Frostworm. Frostworm was super swaggy. But I think it's the frustration of trying to kite vampire counts. They're a faction you think you'd be able to kite really effectively, but they have so much cheap chaff that they're going to get in the way. So much healing they can pop down. So many summons and stuff that they're actually kind of annoying. They're kind of an annoying faction to try and kite, particularly with their flyers as well. And even when he had the horsemen supporting on the ground, just beautiful micro by Venom with cycle charge on the Terror guys in and out against those Frostworms. Just overwhelmed them, and there was nothing the Frostworms could end up kind of doing. And the Norskins just couldn't get onto any decent targets. Mm-hmm. It is Vernant Beck, indeed. Cool. Lizardmen, Empire, and Skaven banning dwarfs. Had to think. Sorry, no worries, man. No worries. Let's have a little sip as you drink. So, who am I going if I'm Mofet here? We know he likes vampire counts. He could go vampire counts ban Lizardman. You got to contend with Empire and Skaven then. Which is definitely doable. I mean, it's not the easiest fight in the world. Skaven have a real rough time there, but Empire versus vampire counts could be good fun. Mofet may whip out the Beastmen. He may do it. But I feel like Empire and Lizardmen can do okay against Beastmen. Particularly Lizardmen. The whole solar engine, like box, is really nasty for the Beastmen to break down. Likewise, Empire just have so many guns, they can really rip Torx Brassball a new one. Yeah, the little Frost one was cool. I agree, Matthew. I like the idea of the build, trying to kite the vampire counts, but Venon's just a very top tier talented player, and he knows how to like space his units out, so you're not going to get any value really. And it makes it really hard. Isn't Khorne going to have a huge advantage against vampires if you can't spam chaff because they get stronger the more they kill? It depends. I don't think... Like, yes, in a way, Khorne are going to be really powerful like that. But likewise, Khorne don't have access to any range. Oh, they have like a cannon, I think, but don't they have like no magic or something? Like, they just don't bring magic, which is, imagine all that resource gone. So they need the buff to chew through the chaff, I think. But again, we're like... That's like way in the future. We've got to get to the new game first, see what each faction does, see what the meta is, and then they'll introduce all the old factions back into the game, and it's going to be the biggest, just melting pot of madness, and I'm very excited for it. Awesome. Looks like Venom had a build prepared for Beastmen. So Mofet goes Beastmen and bans Lizardmen, which leaves him with Empire or Skaven. Venom just insta-locks Skaven and goes, I'm ready. So he's obviously practicing this matchup. I very much doubt we're going to see the same build that Black Thorn bought, but I would love to. A Foot Icket Claw would be true Chad. Would be true Chad indeed. Cool, let's have a little sip of the drink. Ah, that's good stuff. Hope you guys are enjoying the stream so far. A little bit of downtime here as we get this second semi-final finished off. Both players ready to go. And then we'll be moving into a best of 5 after this. Balancing will be a nightmare in Warhammer 3, I'd imagine. Oh my god, I feel so bad for like the balancing team. Like the new factions, obviously you've only got like how many, like, well, the demon factions, ogres, the great secret duck faction that I'm assuming they're going to be putting into the game. Hint, CA, if you're listening, just saying. Secret duck faction. And like Kislev and Cafe and stuff. So balancing that might not be too hard. Or I mean, it's going to be hard, but it's not going to be like the end of the world. Balancing when all the factions get added into the game, like Mortal Empire style, is going to be a literal nightmare. It's going to be a nightmare. But here we are, the glorious Mirrorwoods. The Skaven are going for a pretty interesting build, actually. It looks like a relatively rush-heavy build. Let's quickly delve into this Beastmen. It looks pretty standard stuff. So let's check out the Skaven here. With a Hell Pit Abomination, we have Pitfires of Hell's Deep as well as Rat Ogres. A couple of Gutter Runners who can do some really nice damage. We have Council God and once again, Elite Skaven Infantry. We have Storm Vermin Halberds, a couple of units of them. Looks like we're seeing a defensive box being formed. We have Skaven Slaves, Clan Rats, load of halberds in the middle, Hell Pit Abomination, Rat Ogres, and where is the cheeky Lord? It is, of course, Double Assassin and Lord Skrulk. So, Double Assassin, of course, we have the Rival Had Talisman on one of them, which is a really powerful item. We then have the mighty Lord Skrulk himself, who can be quite nasty. Coming in, it looks like with Pestilent Birth and Breath, I'm going to assume those spells are. Let's have a little cheeky look. It is Pestilent Breath and Vermintide. Okay, nice stuff for sure. For the forces of the Beastmen, we do have a more standard approach. We have a nice little vanguard contingent of Ungor Spearheads dotted all the way along, and Ungor Raiders just in behind. We have double Tuskor Chariots, double Chaos Spawn, and one unit of Razorgors. Up in the skies, it is double Ferromanticore, and then we have Torque's Brass Ball down in the center. On the far right-hand side, we do have a Bray Shaman of Wild, coming in with Traderkin and Bray Scream, and the Grog Hooves of Wolf's Run. Double check. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we're fine. Okay. All good in the hood. Grog Hooves of Wolf's Run can be rather nasty. I was just double checking the single entities there because there's been some changes to what counts as single entity monsters now and so on for the forces of the Beastie Boys. But we do just have, I believe Torx is now a single entity monster, not a single entity, and so on. Gutrunner's going to be forming up in the front. Should be a good fun game. Good like has fun, says Venom. Looks like they're ready to rumble. Stream's been amazing, man. Thank you. Thanks so much. I hope you guys have enjoyed. It's been a good fun stream, actually. We've been back doing tournaments. Did one last week, doing one this week, maybe one Friday, but I'm not, as I said, I'm having surgery on Thursday, so I don't want to promise anything that I can't, like, live up to. The Ungor Spearheads pushing forward, likewise are the Ungor Raiders, looking to whittle down Skaven Slave Spears from far. Lord Skrulk is going to be pushing forward to the Ungor Spears, maybe just waving hello. Needs to be careful though, very snipeable Lord, and the Ferromanticores would like to feast on him quite a bit. We do get a Clan Rat summon go down. Now, the majority of the Skaven force is currently hiding in the trees, but they did push through to try to actually get to the enemy. Now the battle is getting underway, so the Beastmen don't have to engage if they don't want to into that forested terrain. Torque's Brass Ball is going to be pulling back. Storm Vermin will be driving forwards. Likewise will Lord Skrulk. Rat Ogres as well going to start pushing forward as the Skaven start to scuttle towards the enemy. Ungor Spearheads are currently pinning the Council Guard as well as Skaven Slaves, and that does buy time for a big nasty Bray Scream to come in and really bring the pain to the enemy. Ungor Raiders are just whittling down the Skaven from range now, pouring on the shots onto the Hell Pit Abomination. The rest of the build is going to rotate and back away, driving the Skaven out of their hidey holes as they move forward to take the fight to the enemy. Pitfires of Hell's Deep though are going to be able to jump on top of the Tuskor Chariots, and it looks like nice snappy reactions by Mofet does mean that the Tuskor Chariots are able to escape here as the Skaven just pile drive down the middle of the enemy formation, but they've all kind of bunched together, and we're going to get a massive fat nasty Traderkin going down, catching half the Skaven build, who did just slam downhill into the Chaos Spawn, and the Ungor Raiders looking to overwhelm them at the moment. We do have the Gutter Runners just launching shots up against the Ferromanticore. Likewise, the Grog Hooves of Wolf's Run are desperately trying to chase them down and pull back as quickly as possible. We have those snare nets, but it looks like the Grog Hooves, the perfect answer to them due to that regeneration, though we do have some Skaven Slave Spears on approach to protect. The Hell Pit Abomination is going toe-to-toe with Torx. We get Assassin's Trophy and Rival High Talisman go down, bringing his melee attack to a mighty, fat, juicy 0. And Torx owns a Hell Pit's a hell of a fight, but we have the Assassins in here, plus a lot of Halberds. Torx needs to be careful. I know he's tanky, but that's a lot of damage coming his way. Brass Body is popped on him. We have Rat Ogres surrounding Ferromanticores, but you can see, look at the amount of Beastmen force, which is just idle right now, which needs to turn and engage. But it's also nice that he can just pour in the Ungor Raider pressure, and they're just going to guarantee to get that big juicy value, particularly if they focus down the Hell Pit Abomination. Now, Torque's Brass Body just doesn't really care. You can throw anything at Torx, he eats it like a champ. He's not really that fussed. Chaos Spawn do bomb in over as well to help support him. The Halberds are trying their best alongside the Assassins to drag him down, but Torx just, if Torx doesn't want to get assassinated, he's not going to get assassinated anytime soon, and this is a bit of a disaster for Vernon. Lord Skrulk actually gets beat back and kind of picked apart, and the Ferromanticores just swooping overhead, looking to finish him off. Tuskor Chariots have been dispatched to deal with the Gutter Runners and drive them away from the main fight, and the central fight is just such a flustercluck right now. Torx is down to about half HP, but the Hell Pit Abomination is having a far far worse day. We have the Grog Hooves of Wolves run here. Ungor Raiders, everything, just launch anything. Pick up a chair, pick up a tree, pick up a rock, whatever you got near you, and launch it towards the Hellpit Abomination, who's trying his best to shut down the Grog Hooves here, but Torx the Brass Bull, double assassin Hellpit Abomination, it's nothing but the average Monday scrap for Torx. Well, it looks like he is currently retreating out of the main fight, and the Hellpit Abomination seems like it may indeed go down. Now, we definitely need to see a Too Horrible to Die if we want any way back in this for the Skaven. It looks like he does get a little bit of regen there, pulling his health up quite nicely, but those Ungor Raiders, just free-flowing archers in their prime right now, dragging down the Hellbit. High Elf archers, look out, beware. The mighty Beastmen archers are kind of coming to take your trophy. It looks like, though, the Skaven, unfortunately, there do have to bow out and get pushed down there. So GG's, well played to Vernon, well played to Mofet. Very fun game all round, but losing Lord Skrog was really nasty. He brings a lot of sniping potential as well with his items, just powerful items in general. So seeing him go down like that, it kind of fell apart from the Skaven after that big bomb rush down into the middle. Lord Skrog, 0, 0, 0. Not what you want to see on your mighty legendary lord. 200 value and 360 on the assassins. The infantry did not do too much. Even the clan rats, who got 64 kills, only 295 damage value. 469, 353, and 911 on the council guard, as well as their storm vermin brethren. Gut runners in the mid hundreds damage value wise. Raugus did okay again, mid hundreds. Hellpit Abomination 1000 value. Torx Brass just doesn't care. Like, he didn't do that much damage, only 300 value, but he just absorbs everything with that brass body. And lovely play as well with the Brave Shaman. That big, fat, juicy, all-in trade to kin. 1,700 damage value on that bad boy. Infantry did not do too much. Ungor Raiders in the mid-hundreds. 620, 550 damage value. Chariots were used effectively in the latter stages to force off the enemy. Nothing too much more to note apart from the Manticores. 1,000 value and 650 on them. And the Chaos Spawn, one you got eviscerated. The other was only 300 value, but still relatively healthy there. GG. Vernon, man, don't feel bad, man. You had like the bad misplay, right, of pushing all your troops in, but you played a really good tournament, man. Very well done getting to the semi-finals. And Mofet is a very scary foe for sure. Very scary. So we will be getting Charix back in here. Let's quickly update the scoreboard. So Mofet did go 2-0 up there. We will be placing him back down to 0. And then let's move this score back to 0 as Charix shall enter the field of battle. Now, this is the best of 5 though, so these players will be stretched to the limits. Both very talented players, so I'm excited to see how this goes. We have Charix. And actually, I think what I'm going to do, just for you guys, I wouldn't do this for anyone else, but just for you, chat, I'm going to move the names around so it's a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. Because the players should be on these sides when they join the lobby, I think. Quack, quack. So, the maps are... Let's list out the maps for the players. Let's actually go to the first one as well. Outskirts. Followed by Doc Karaz. Oasis of False Hope. Valley. Thieves, and Alpine Ridge. Awesome. Sign off on Altdorf outskirts here. Occasionally watch your streams, Robert Duck. Hope your surgery goes well. Oh, sorry, what happened to my phone there? My phone went weird and your message disappeared. Hang on a sec. Let me get that back and refresh. There we go. Occasionally watch your streams, Robert Duck. Hope your surgery goes well. You make good content. Thanks so much, Squarehead29. Really appreciate it, dude. Glad you enjoyed the content. I actually have another video dropping basically straight after this. And thanks so much, man. It's like a non-risk surgery, really, so it should be fine. I just get put under for it, so I can go a bit doolally for not a couple of days, for a couple of hours, I think, afterwards. What kind of operation you having, Duck? I'm basically having... I don't know if I should say in case people are squeamish. If you're squeamish, like, close your ears, I guess, for, like, the next 5 seconds. I'm basically getting, like, a small, like, hole cut out of my back and then, like, sewed up because it won't heal by itself. Which is very annoying. And because of COVID, it's been there for a very long time. Because obviously the NHS is kind of screwed right now in the UK. So there's long waiting times. Did expect the Taurox out bold. Yeah, true, for true. Everyone always expects Taurox. GG's indeed. It is still pick 2, ban 0. Oh, yeah. Yeah, cool. Yeah, so it's the same pick and ban system. So pick 2, ban none. In the final game, it would be the old pick 3, ban 1 type thing. In the 5th battle, if it goes all that way. We have potential for 5 battles. Minimum 3 more battles to come, guys. Have no fear. Awesomeness is near. Just going to send a quick message. Sorry, guys, in a little bit of a maintenance in the back. Go. Just double check. Thank. Cool. And back to the action. Apologies about that, guys. Let's see what these guys did do in their pick and ban him. So it looks like Chax is going to go with Lizardmen and High Elves. I would love to see some top tier High Elf play today. I'd love it. I would love to see some High Elf play. Personally, I'd love to see some Imric play. Always down for more Imric action. Beastmen. Okay. I would go Lizardmen here if I'm Chax. Straight up. I'm pretty comfortable in this matchup. Lizardmen v Beastmen. It's not, great anymore for Lizardmen as it once was. But it's still certainly doable. Particularly if you're a really good kiter and you have the potential to kite against the Beastmen, you can do some disgusting work. And it looks like Chax just snaps into Lizardmen action. I think he's heard whispers of the great plan coming from beyond the void, and he knows now is the time, now is the hour. He shall go to glorious war. He shall go to glorious war as the children of the old ones against the evil, ruinous forces of the Beastmen. I think it's a relatively even matchup now. I think it'll certainly go either way. Both these players have proven up to this point as well. They've got fantastic micro knowledge, game knowledge, micro skill, and good decision making. So it should be a showdown for the ages. It is best of 5, not a best of 3. So, got plenty of potential for comebacks and crazy games, mistakes, awesome plays. I'm really excited. If the Beastmen are fighting uphill, but it's taking place among the trees, does the Beastmen have an advantage? It probably depends what they're fighting. If they're fighting cavalry and stuff, they'd probably have an advantage, because the cavalry gets extra nerfs by being in trees. I've got a really funny replay as well to show you guys at some point, which might be from Mofet, actually. He might be playing in it, which is actually using the, not marsh, is it swamp mechanics or something weird? Aquatic trait? There you go. They're using the aquatic trait of skinks. It is hilarious and wild. Ooh, that's a big fat juicy stretch. Hey, 6ix9ine watching. The perfect number to be streaming to. Big stretch while we wait for these guys. This is the one thing that I dislike compared to the one build Battle Royale tournaments, is one build Battle Royale has no downtime. We're just straight in the action, whereas on these games, obviously, got to give the players time to create builds and really get ready to face each other in battle. Which is fine. It means I get more time to chat with you guys, chatting speak to you a little bit, and it slows down the stream somewhat, but hey, it makes the action all the more better. Speed and 1 build Battle Royale, probably going to do one again soon. I had so much fun in the last one. That was like my favorite tournament I've like hosted and played in and done everything in for quite some time. We had almost every single build was like off meta, really fun. There was one or two like, you know, typical stuff. We had Marathi double Manticore. We had some like Lizardmen skirmish and stuff, but for the most part it was pretty wild and wacky builds, and seeing them clash against each other was so much fun, which is one of the reasons I'm really excited for Warhammer 3, because at the start no one's going to have a freaking clue how to play the game. The meta is going to be all over the place, and people will latch on to stuff they think's good, and then someone will find a counter to it and it'll mix it up a bit, and I think it's going to be very refreshing, the multiplayer scene, when Game 3 drops. So I think it's like less than a month away. I feel like it's roughly a month, like 3 to 4 weeks away for the game. Mozart to skinks, a trenches are to man. Yeah, like skinks love a good little moat or a swamp. They love it. I quite like that analogy though. Mozart to skinks as trenches are to men. That's great. Check Discord, make sure we have no questions from the players. Looks like they're still just deciding. And here we go. They are ready to rumble in this best of 5 final. Now, the winner here will book themselves a slot in the Season 10 Grand Finals alongside the mighty Calla Harmon, who managed to win the first Death Before Dishonour of this season. There will be 2 more qualifiers after this, so feel free to join my Discord. There's a link down below in the description if you want to partake in a future live stream events, including the Death Before Dishonour. I don't know when the next actual round will be. Probably next week, I would assume. But hey, life hits us fast, so we'll have to just do it as we do. We've had quite a big break from Qualifier 1 and 2, unfortunately. Again, due to the fact we ran this Champions of Renown tournament, which was amazing. That's probably my proudest tournament. Actually, I don't know if that's my proudest tournament I've hosted. It's probably my second proudest. It was a really cool event. It went really well. It was huge prize pool, biggest prize pool we've ever run here on the channel, which is really exciting. But I must admit, probably my proudest moment as a streamer so far was actually streaming on Total War's like Twitch channel, doing the Teach Me Total War, because I think it was a really, really good cause idea as well of like trying to get new people into the game. Plus, obviously, it was like a much bigger amount of people watching me than usual, so that was really cool. That was really cool. Anyway, back to the battle. I've been doing enough rambling in the downtime there. So for the forces of Charax and the Dino Boys, it is going to be Mass Chameleon Skinks. We have 4 units dotted through the front line. I like this pick quite a bit up against the Beastmen if you can protect them, which is certainly harder than, like, kind of like easier to say than do, because Beastmen are one of the best push factions in the entire game. Main battle line is Little Beautiful Skinkies. I'm sure Mr. America, when he watches this back as a video, is going to love these bad boys. Little Skinkies guarding the flanks, and Saurus Warriors in the main formation, including the cohort of Sotek. We do have Krokgar, Charax, trying to win my heart here. Look at our beautiful baby boy, the mighty Crocky G, coming in with Hand of the Gods. We have an Ark of Sotek. We also have Feral Cold Ones holding it down in the back, looking to swarm Charax and Centicles and pin them in place. We actually have a Skink Oracle as well, which is something I've not seen in a long time, coming with Windblast and Earthblood. Very interesting build. Excited to see how it is going to be doing here and how it's going to perform. For the forces of the Beastie Boys, we do have triple Centicores Throne Axes on this left-hand flank. No Regiment of Renown, however. Double Harpies in the sky. We have Ungor Raiders and Bestigors. I love the mixture of Bestigors, putting them in the front line. Their mighty War Axes can cleave asunder scaly skin, which the other units kind of struggle with quite a bit. Couple of Ungor Raiders for a bit of missile support. Harpies in the sky, Tuskor Chats on the ground, and we have the Gorbel and Torx Brassball, Best of Buds, really good at hunting down solar engines, which are very, very common here in this matchup. Pretty cool build. Pretty cool build. It is Traitorkin, Bray Scream, Bray Shaman on Chariot, as is the typical. I do think the Skink Oracle's got a lot of potential here. It can certainly do some big damage to the enemy hero core in general, as well as hitting Tuskor Chats, but Harpies bombing down, it's going to be a tough fight. There's a lot to protect here for the Lizardmen in the form of those Chameleon Skinks and the Skink Oracles. Feral Cold Ones are going to be rotating around with the rest of the army. I love seeing Gary in action. So there is a new rule in Fruit Rules. You can only bring 1 Gary. Unfortunately, 1 Ark of Sotek Gary. The other Garys I still believe fine to bring in the 2s. For Death Before Dishonour, we've taken that rule out though. So you can bring 2 Ark of Soteks if you deem it necessary. Chameleons are falling back here under the pressure of the Ungors, who do have shields actually, so hey, they're not having the worst day in the world. More Chameleon Skinks are starting to drive back as well as Harpies continue to push forward. Bestigors are going to be hot on pursuit, and the Tuskor Chariots here are going to be able to catch the Chameleons, but they're being slowed down, and you can see this is where the Feral Cold Ones shine. They want to come in here, and yeah, they just protect the Chameleon Skinks. You don't want to over-pursue here, though, if you're Chariots. So the Chariots have been dealt with, they've been pushed back. You can try and get a bit of free damage, but as soon as the enemy does turn around, you want to pull back. Their main job is to protect, not to attack. On the flanks here, Saurus Warriors have taken huge damage. My god, that's a lot of damage coming in so far by the Centaurs with throwing axes. The Braze Shaman, wherever they may be, probably also had something to do with that. I'm assuming a Braze Scream or something came in. Although I don't know, it looks like the Shaman's actually way at the back. So all that damage just from throwing axes is pretty impressive for sure. And the Skink Oracle has forced itself forward a little bit. It is poking at the enemy. It can either shoot up at the Harpies or down at the Centaurs, both of which would be relatively decent targets. Chameleons struggling to find good targets at the moment, but hey, they have a bucket ton of ammunition, and here we go, hitting the Harpies. That's going to be some good work right there. Harpies only have 15 armor, a beautiful target for the little skinkies to really shoot those blow darts into. A big fat hand of the gods does go down, and this is a bit of a... I see a lot of people do this at Krogar. That distance was way too far away. You need to shoot enemies, like, now. Krogar to Taurox range. That is the ultimate way to use Hand of the Gods, and most likely to hit the enemy. Otherwise, I mean, that big tree got in the way. But the further it goes, the more it spreads, and the closer it is, the more likely you are to completely miss all over. It does look like the Feral Cold Ones getting really eager, trying to push in the Tuskor Chariots and drive them away, which is good play to land the Skinks and Saurus to win the main front line. We can see the Chameleons getting caught up by Harpies and Bestigors, but in comes Gary, the Arca Sotek, looking to drop those snakes and the base at the same time. Should be able to rip apart many of the Harpies and Bestigors here, and lovely little animation. See the snakes sliver along the ground here, trying to bite and rip out the throats of the Beastmen forces. Harpies are forced off, Ungors are forced off, the Bestigors hold the line. A lovely wind blast on the far side as well, as Feral Cold Ones do commit to that main fight, trying to surround the Chariots, and it looks like the Braze Shaman is launching itself after the Arc of Sotek, who's whipping its tail back and forth, terror out in the Bestigors. Gary, the supreme ruler of Alastria, the Arc of Sotek driving in, doing some good work, but this is quite risky now. Krogar is in a bad fight. He's getting 2 for 1 pounded by the Gorbel and Torx Brass Ball, who currently has a Brass Body popped. The Skink Oracle probably just wants to whip around and start launching some shots in. He's found himself a nice little pocket of protection here, and he's going to start rear attacking Taurox, and despite 40% damage resistance, that will really add up and start to do some nasty damage. Harpies in the back being overrun by Chameleon Skinks. We do have Centaurs charging in, but look at these little clever girls chasing them down. Wherever you go, we shall follow. We are the kind of, you know, shadows in the night here to hunt you down. That looks like the unfortunate Chameleon Skinks will get driven off before the Feral Gold Ones are able to connect, and the Centaurs may yet be able to escape. Now, it does look like Torx Brass Ball with Brass Body has been able to mitigate the majority of the damage here, and it looks like the Skink Thronax, or the Centaur Thronax, is really overcommitting to this fight here, surrounding the Skink Oracle, and now engaged with a Basidon and perhaps Krogar as well. Krogar is pushing forward with an Earthblood popped on him. I feel like maybe we're about to get a Hand of the Gods come in onto Torx Brass Ball. Perhaps no, he's just going to, he's dying back and forth. He's kind of baiting out Taurox, and we are seeing Taurox get dragged down here. Lovely play by the Skink Oracle is really adding up the damage here. I think we're about to see a debuff come down, and it is a Traderkin, and it does just about catch Krogar here, which is really nice news. A Hand of Gods comes in, it clips Taurox, not doing the most damage, but Taurox is about to go down. He does do one last roly-poly, but unfortunately is forced back by the mighty Crocky G. We never doubted you, Krogar. You are the better warrior. Saurus Warriors, though, are going down, and elsewhere on the battlefield, you see Ungor Raids are being shut down by Kola Sotek. There's only 2 of them left, and though the Lizardmen won the single entity fight, they're certainly losing the majority of the battlefield, which is really bad news. We are going to see another Earthblood go down. It's going to be healing up Krogar, Chameleon Skinks, as well as Skink cohorts surrounding the Gorbel, trying to drag down the beast. The Skink Oracle does come in with a little bit of a nose punch, just going for a little bit of poke there on the Gorbel. Definitely wants to chase this bad boy off. Is there enough ammunition to drag down all the single entities that the Lizardmen have to offer? There's a lot of ammo left, plus there is a Braze Shaman. We've seen both the Hand of the Gods. Krogar has kind of blown his load already. Taurox does go down though. He grips at his neck as the mighty Cold One mount Krogar is on, gets its fangs in there and drags low the mighty beast. The Gorbel is also going to get assassinated now, and this could be a big problem for the Beastmen, is the terror. There's a lot of terror on the field. We have the Skink Oracle, of course, which is rather terrifying, and the Basilodon. Windblast goes down, unfortunately completely misses the Ungor Raiders. A bit of a misplay there by the Skink Oracle, which is a shame because that would have done so much damage and gone a long way to secure on this victory for the Lizardmen, who I think currently are in a slight state of advantage, mainly due to that terror. The Brave Shaman as well is getting sniped out by the Skink Oracle. Such a nice play. You have to make this Skink Oracle do horrendous amounts of damage to pay for itself. It is very expensive, but Charax has got the real good use out of it here, and if you can get the use out of this bad boy, it can rack up some glorious work. 2.3k damage value, 2.4 now, as it does shoot into the Gorbu, who was able to rally here somehow. Centaurs in the back, basically out of ammunition, being forced off by the Chameleon Skinks. And now the Archosotek really needs to walk towards the Ungor herd. So you do get flattened by a wind blast. They're going to be getting up onto their feet again. Actually, it doesn't look like they went down there. That was weird. You guys see that? Maybe they got back up again, but it looked like that wind blast didn't knock any of them flying at all. Skink Cohort is going to push in, trying to overwhelm them. The Tuskor Chats are driving in to try to intercept, but the Skink Oracle, of course, can launch one or two big shots in, and the Tuskor Chats are very low HP. I think it'd be one shot, one kill for the Skink Oracle if he connects, and it looks like he is driving forward, but perhaps in melee mode, just to force off the Tuskor Chats, and here he goes. He is on the prow. A big old whip of the neck crashes and explodes one of the chariots, which now has indeed been shattered. Bestigors get terrified and shattered themselves, and the Lizardmen really in the ascendancy right now. There's some thrown axes left, but I don't know if there's going to be enough. The Lizardmen just need to push towards the Ungor Raiders. They are the big problem here. Like, the Centaur's going to do what the Centaur's going to do. They can pull back and shoot you if they want, but yeah, get your Skinks, get your Archosotek, and drive at the heart of the Ungor Raiders. Just commit all your forces, because the Gorbul then can't come in, because that nasty Skink Oracle play, alongside Krotgar, would easily be able to finish him off. Saurus Warriors are barely clinging onto life. They're on the edge of the battlefield, but they actually take the charge, and then push back, driving the Centaurs away. A couple of Centaurs do go down there. Saurus, they're not going anywhere yet. They're not out of this fight. Centaurs are trying their best to just pick apart these Chameleon Skinks, who are running really low on ammunition right now. Centaurs not having the best of days. Looks like Ungor Raiders are simply kiting back and trying to escape right now, as more Centaurs do come back to the main battlefield, but the Brave Shaman's shattered. The Gorbul's so low. It's just, I think, a matter of time. Centaurs are trying their best here, and they've got some ammunition left on them. We do have some Chameleon Skinks, 27, who can, of course, come back and support, and the single entities are looking a little bit low HP-wise, but as soon as the Centaurs get close, they start to get that the jitters in their stomach as they want to run away and flee rather than face the might of Gary, who's up to 82 kills so far. Centaurs looking to charge into the Chameleon Skinks, and the Chameleon Skinks will countercharge them. They are fighting in the forest, which will help the Chameleons a little bit. But yeah, these single entities just get moving towards the Ungor Raiders. If you get them off the field, there's simply not enough thrown axes to finish off this core. Nice little juke coming in as well. And Earthblood going down on all three units as well, of course, would be quite tasty. Saurus Warriors are starting to push forward, but now the Centaurs and the Ungor Raiders all lining up that shots onto the Skink Oracle. He's starting to get a little bit danger low. The Ark of Sotek does get a cold blow popped on it. Likewise does the Skink Oracle. The Bacillus just needs to go after these Ungor Raiders, man. They're doing, like, so much damage now to the Skink Oracle. Again, an Earthblood, though, would be rather tasty. It looks like the three single entities here are going to be moving towards the enemy battle line. Saurus Warriors do drive back the Centaurs once again, who are simply wavering by the mere presence of such awesomeness. They've got a couple of thrown axes left on them at the moment. They are going to be moving themselves forward to try to engage the Skink Oracle, who has managed to stabilize quite a bit. And it looks like Crocky G is actually going to be able to catch this unit of Ungor Raiders, which is a bit of a disaster. Gorbul could turn around to try and support, but the Skink Oracle's nearby. He has a couple of shots left, but the leadership of the Skink Oracle is suffering really badly here. The Archosotek is like, hey, get back here, help! Don't run away, we need you in the action. You can see Saurus Warriors attempt to engage there, but Centaurs of thrown axes do force them off, and the Skink Oracle may now be going down. Is this going to be a turnaround of the century by the Beastmen player? The Skink Oracle does have enough leadership to rally, and he does come back. He is isolating alone, though, taking on these thrown axes. We get an Earthblood go down the Archosotek. It's going to be a leadership game here. If his leadership holds, there's nothing the Beastmen can really do against this bad boy. And it looks like the Ungor Raiders' leadership is not holding for them, unfortunately, as Gary gets in and starts going nom 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 and eating their flesh. Now, of course, we have the Gorbul, who can do good work, though Krotgar, no doubt, would be enough to finish him off. Skink Oracle is surrounded and getting forced off the battlefield, which is really bad news here for the Lizardmen. But they've got to do this slow approach and just chase off this unit of Ungor Raiders. Like, the temptation to go after the other units, of course, is huge. But you simply can't afford to do it. You need to take this unit off, and it is the one with the most ammunition at the end of the day. Saurus Warriors are on the way back. Centaurs are being driven off here. The Archosotek going to continue to pursue the Ungor Raiders to the edge of the universe. This unit of Ungors down to just 2 volleys left. Skink Oracle does go down, though. Is there enough punch left on this Beastman force? with the Terror, it's really nasty. Anything that touches the Ark's gonna die. Krogar does drive away the Centaurs. You don't want to leave the Basildon on its own, though. If its leadership goes down, of course, it needs its Lord nearby, and it needs its Cold-Blooded popped on it to keep it in the action. And also, you don't want it isolated fighting the Gorbel. So I would just move these guys so tight together. I'm so stressed watching this game, because I'm like, come on, we'll do it. I love the Lizardmen. You guys can do it. I believe in you. Centaur's going to be moving over to the Saurus Warriors, who will break and shatter in a second, and that will force a final confrontation here of the ages. We have Ungor Raiders who have rallied here with 4 ammo left, and I don't know what they're going to be able to do about this, the Lizardmen. Now, the Archosotek has 1,000 HP left. Again, it should be able to kill all the enemy infantry, as Krogar instead goes after the Gorbel. Mofet might want to just commit here, move the Gorbel around, and try to break the Bastildon's leadership, because that is going to be the way into this game. Ungors, though, are getting dragged down now by the glorious poison of Sotek. Likewise, those Centaurs are stumbling over the snakes and taking considerable damage. Ungors, once again, have been forced off here. Now, the other unit of Ungors, up to 4 ammo still. That's enough to hurt the Bastildon, which is up to 110 kills. Beastmen obviously aren't going to commit to fight. They're just going to constantly run away until this ammunition is spent. So you may as well just push them, and obviously they might try and rear attack and you have to turn around, and it's very frustrating. But the Ark of Sotek is wavering, guys. It is wavering. It all comes down to this bad boy's leadership. The funny thing here as well, like, it looks like the Lizardman player's not doing too much. Like, oh, you're chasing these units. What value are you going to get? The Archosotek actually throws javelins off its back and gets in and does some really good work. So here we get the big final confrontation. Can the Gorbel kill the Archosotek before Krogar can kill the Gorbel? It looks like it can. It's dragging down the Basildon, but likewise, the Gorbel is feeling the wrath of the last defender. Krogar breaks and shatters the soul of the Gorbel, devours it in front of the rest of the Beastmen with a mighty roar, and they are sent running. They are sent packing and fleeing before the scene. It is glorious. The mighty Lizardmen do reign supreme. Though the Archosotek fell, Krogar never doubting for a second. 1 dino standing is all you need. Only 620 value on him with 20 kills, but more importantly, he survived to the very end. I love the Skink Oracle play. It's way harder to pull off than people give it credit for. 2,581 value and 16 kills on the Skinky boy. Little Skinks, not the biggest damage value across the board, mid to low hundreds for all the infantry, and the Chameleon Skinks, very low hundreds. 1,000 damage value was the best, the other though, 240, 340, 280, that was about it. Feral Cold Ones got 33, 8, 19, and 19 kills with 650, 50, 420, and 240 damage value. The Archosotek Basildon, 120 kills, 1,589 damage value, 12k damage dealt, a real MVP. Hashtag save Gary against this evil rule of making him a super weapon. This is the Charax representing for my boy, my beautiful Archosotek, who does reign supreme there. As for Mofet, 980 value on Taurox, who got dragged down by some really just depth, fantastic play by Charax. 1.2k on the Brave Shaman, and 766 on the Gorbel. Scrap into the bitter end, but alas, it was not enough. Mid-hundreds for the Bestigors. Ungor Raiders, 1,200 damage value is disgusting for a unit so cheap. 870 on the second one. Tuskors got just shy of 500 value. Phronaxes, 1.1k, 820, 2,299. Oh, it makes me feel so sick. 900 kills. Beautiful skirmish play by Mofet in the end. The Harpies, though, unfortunately, got absolutely shredded. GG, well played. That was stressful. That was stressful, guys. Next, Shabby.Kraz. If we get, like, 5 games like that, I might have a heart attack. I may have a heart attack. But Charax shall be taking the first game there in this best of 3 series. And we are back in the game there. GG's. GG's for sure. GG's for sure across the board. Give a thumbs up to the stream. Yeah, I'd appreciate it if you guys are enjoying. Feel free to like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Damn, they killed Taurox. A rare sight, man. A rare sight. What's up, Sebastian? The Hand of the Gods is why the... Oh, God. Hand of the Gods is actually, like... You just gotta fire it in the mid-range, man. I don't understand why people always fire it, like, super long range or super close. Just fire the mid-range. You get, like an 8 out of 10 chance to connect. It's so good. It's so good. Beastmen Archers win the game on their shot. Man, the Archers tried their hardest. They really tried their hardest. Nice gunning from the Oracle. Yeah, the Oracle was a beast, man. It went beast mode. Yeah, honestly, I kind of agree with Major Moolah here. Where it says, really considering the number of factors is pretty well balanced. Of course, there's a few cursed matchups and so on, but considering, yeah, the absurd amount of factions, there's always going to be some stronger and some weaker. I think they do a pretty decent job balancing. Krogar holds the title. All other are mere challengers. 100%. GG's for sure. That was a great one. Mofet going back to his comfort zone. Greenskins and Vampire Counts. What am I doing if I'm Charax right now? I know he likes his High Elves. It more depends how comfortable he is High Elves into Greenskins. I mean, it's doable. I'm just saying, Charax, as well. Hey, you're allowed to bring a Star Dragon with another dragon. So you could go Star Dragon, Fire Dragon, Mage against the Greenskins. That'd be awfully sexy. That'd be awfully cool. It'd be awfully cool indeed. The Charax is thinking, he's contemplating his life options. What to do against a man like Mofet. There is only so many things you can do to try to hold them back. I've seen Charax play really good High Elves, but he does tend to prefer to play them in a skirmish way, which maybe wouldn't aid him so well against the Greenskins, so perhaps we won't see that. You could do multiple things there, I suppose. You could even go Vampire Counts or Greenskins yourself. Oh, please no Vampire Count Mirror, though. Please. Please no. I was thinking you could go Vampire Count, which is okay here. Maybe some Brett play. I would like this quite a bit as a pick. Bretonnia into Greenskins and Vampire Counts, I think is solid for Bretonnia. Very solid. It's definitely doable for Vampire Counts as well. In this matchup. Double White King trying to take on the Double Paladin is doable, but I think I like Bretonnia as a pick here. You think Greenskins are the hardest for the High Elves? I agree. Possibly. Possibly. I've seen it done. But you have to have like God tier micro. Yeah, maybe. It's very bad for the High Elves. That's what I'm thinking. Like, it's great to take on the Vampire Counts with the Greenskins. It's doable. You get some good synergies going with like the Fireball and a Firecaster and stuff. You can really like just slaughter Grom and Trolls in like half a second. But it's quite hard to stop the mass tide of Greenskins whilst like dozens and dozens of arrows fall upon you and like drag you down from your horses and stuff. I can do VC for Ducky, but I actually wouldn't. Thank God for that. Thank you so much. It is me, Bretonnia versus Greenskins, guys. It is Bretonnia versus Greenskins. No dreaded Vampire Count Mirror here. We're saved. I'm saved. I can sleep peacefully tonight. All is in order. The world's in a good place. I'm a happy ducky. I'm a very, very happy ducky. Let's once again just go through, make sure the stream is all strong. See you guys on my screen. Let's check the stream strength. Looks like it's going all good. Hey, we've got like nearly 80 people in here. Hope you guys have been having a good time. I've certainly been having a good time casting these games. We've had some very good games so far. And these guys seem pretty evenly balanced. So I'm hopeful that it's going to go like all the way to the 5th game. Just with like, if we get the same game like that over and over again, it's going to be beautiful, Finn. Coming down to like just last Haggard for units trying to kite some characters to death. Mofit's ready. Chag seems to be ready. Looks like Mofit might have one or two changes he wants to make very quickly. And then we'll be underway. Doc Kraz, of course, I believe is in the Badlands, so it should be Greenskin home turf. So Bretonians, of course, going on one of their Holy Crusades, sallying out to bring Wrath and Ruin to their enemies. And the Bretonians and Greenskins, I can imagine, don't get on super well. And it's understandable why, I believe. Very understandable. It's kind of hard to get on with the Greenskins unless you're a Greenskin. They're kind of like funny for the first 5 minutes, and then they probably get really infuriating to be neighbors with. Hori, man, you need to get more creative as a bot, bro. I keep hearing bots come in and they say this, like, little phrase he's saying there. Just don't click on any links or type that in anywhere. It's just a bot. But these bots need to get more creative, man. At least, like, say quack and then drop the spam link. Let me go delete you quickly. but you've got to put a bit of energy into it, you know? Disappointed. Let's get rid of you. Cool. Yeah, you have been deleted. Awesome. And here we are loading into the game. Yeah, the bots, I feel like the bots just need to up their game. Honestly. Just up your game, man. So, it is hopefully going to be a good fun time here. On the glorious greenskin landscape, the Bretonnian forces shall meet them in holy battle. We have, as you would expect, a load of filthy, unwashed peasants dotted through to make up the main battle line, and that's it for the infantry. Nothing more, just peasants, because it is all cav, baby. We are playing this Bretonnia style. Wardens of Montfort lead a contingent of mounted yeoman archers. Likewise, we have questing knights and knights of the realm dotted all the way along, including the Knights of the Lionheart, which is the regiment of renown. More questing knights into the sunset, just a bucket ton of cavalry, and of course, double paladin, Fey Enchantress, little hero blob. It is really nasty. We have the Dwellers Below and Earthblood. It's looking like a pretty fun, juicy build. For the Greenskins, they brought their own skirmish cav, but for once, the Greenskin skirmish cav is outnumbered. We have Goblin Wolf Riders, Forest Common Spider Riders, and Morgrub's Mangy Marauders. Main battle line is a load of Orc Biggins on the main kind of contingent, flanked by Gobbos, as well as the 8-Peak Loons leading the charge. And then it's a load of cavalry of their own. We have Orc Boar Boys into the sunset, a load of Orc Boar Boys, and one unit of Orc Boar Boy Biggins. We have double Goblin Wolf Archers in the back. We do have a Night Goblin War Boss, which is a risky pick because he's so snipeable, but likewise he's cheap and can pin the enemy in place. Coming in with the Tormentor Sword and Fermented Fungi, he is very powerful, though of course a Lord with only 3,300 HP and 55 armor doesn't tend to last too long on the battlefield, though I must admit his mount looks beautiful. We have a Goblin Big Boss as well with They Need Stabbing, and a Giant Ritual Hag with Spirillage and Purple Sun. Purple Sun play is going to be absolutely massive. You try and get the Knights to bunch up on your own cavalry, and you whack them with the Purple Sun, and reap the rewards. Some Goblin Wolf Riders are in the back as well, just in case there's a load of archers, but alas, there is none. In the main fight, instantly, the cavalry just collides, and you can see the mounted yeoman archers instantly flee, but they are getting shots from the side to help support them, and it should eventually turn to a good engagement, you would think, for the Bretonnians. Rather even trade so far, though. A bit of damage done to both the Greenskin units. Probably coming out just on board there for the Bretonnians as the Greenskin hordes charge forwards. Now, this type of Bretonnian build is going to take an insane level of micro, but as we've seen from Jax, he's certainly capable of it. Knights of the Realm crash into Orc Boar Boys. Knights of the Realm with the anti-larger easily going to dispatch the Green Boys here. As a Giant Ritual Hag, though, does start to engage, she may be able to turn the tide of that battle. We do have Mounted Yeomen whacking the Orc Boys on the left as more Knights of the Realm start to dispatch the Greenskins, and it's only a fool would meet the Bretonnians in an open field, I feel, in a cavalry fight, and the cavalry is just destroying the enemy right now. Goblins again run over, but in come the reinforcements of the Greenskins, and this could be absolutely huge. We do have a Chalice come down here, I believe, from the Fey Enchantress, trying to hit the Orc Boar Boys. It's going to whack some Night Goblins as well. That's got such a long wind-up time, Jesus, but hey, it did some damage to the Orc Boar Boys. That's all that matters. One Paladin has been isolated, which is a bit of a disaster, unfortunately, for the Bretonnians. They need to stay together. We do get a slow come down on the Questing Knights. Likewise, we're about to see a big nasty Dwellers Below go down on the Orc Boar Boys, catch them doing some decent damage, but a Purple Sun is going to counteract and snip and whack onto the Questing Knights just as they get slowed as well, and that's going to allow the Orc Boar Boys to trade really cost-effectively upwards against the Questing Knights. In the main fight, the Paladin does come in. It looks like they are starting to turn the tide in the middle, and on the flanks, the Bretonnian cavalry is just running rampant. Goblins are being shut down. Orc Boar Boys are running for their life right now as Mounted Yeomen just 360 no-scope them all day long. On the right-hand side, the Knights of the Lionheart do charge forward. I wonder if these guys are named after the really fantastic Turbo YouTuber Lionheart. I hope so, but maybe they're a lore-friendly unit as well. Earthblood does go down as they can crash back in. The Fey Enchantress is a little bit surrounded here. We do get a Fermented Fungi, and They Need Stabbing go down on the Paladin, though they do have the Favour of the Fey buffing them up here. Quite a close fight. We do get some crazy fanatics swirl around, but Night Goblin War Boss isn't Grom, and he's taking a lot of damage right now, despite the engagement going okay for him. More Knights of the Realm do start to swoop in. The Greenskins are starting to lose this central hero core force. Fey Enchantress is doing a lovely job, though she is surrounded by Orc Biggins, and they really do frickin' hurt. They do have that lovely bonus versus large, and the Fey Enchantress is quite brittle. She's taking massive damage right now. She needs some of her knights to come to her aid. It looks like we have Mounted Yeomen on the flanks being a little bit busy, but Question Knights are going to be able to charge in and maybe support, but they're actually going after the Goblin Wolf Riders instead. A little slip up from the Greenskins, who are allowing them to be caught, but then quite quick afterwards, pulling wide here. Earthblood's going to go down the Fey Enchantress, but I don't know if there's going to be enough to save her. This is going to be a bit of a disaster because the Bretonians are doing great elsewhere on the battlefield. Question Knights do come to a limp charge in there to try to save the Fey, who's attempting to pull out at the moment. Mounted Yeomen doing a really good job in the backs, been very impressed with their play. Paladins have held the main fight there. One of them's trying to disengage to chase away the giant ritual hag, but he's getting bogged down by some pesky night goblins. Elsewhere in the main fight, you can see the Goblin War Boss has gone down here. The Goblin Big Boss, I should say. The Goblin War Boss, where art thou? Is it just dead? Oh, it's shattered. Oh, that's really rough, unfortunately, for the Greenskins. But despite that, it's a really close game because the Fey Enchantress also dies. Massive slip up coming in from the Bretonians, losing their Liege Lord, where elsewhere on the battlefield, Finns were going so well. And now we have a load of Biggins to contend with, and the Biggins, they're not going to go down without a bit of a scrap. Paladins are also being dragged down. Knights are Lionhearted are trying their best. Goblin Big Boss has been able to rally here. Has the giant ritual hag? She has. That is a disaster. She's going to be coming back to the Greenskin kind of battle lines, waving her big sack of meat around, in to me, rally to me, and they can once again go after these knights who no longer have access to healing because the Fey Enchantress was sniped. And I think if the Fey was still alive, this would be game over. This would have been game over. But because the Fey Enchantress goes down, I think the Greenskins are actually in an advantageous position right now. Quest Knights being forced back. Wardens are using it, having to kind of been forced really to use ammunition up on Goblin Wolf Riders, which obviously isn't good news for them. Paladins are trying their best, but they're getting whacked by Spirit Leeches right now. And this other Paladin has been defeated by the Goblin Big Boss. It was all about round 2. He feigned a retreat to the Goblin Big Boss and came back for that sneaky stabbing, and they need stabbing goes down. The Paladin does bite the dust, and I think that's game to Mofet there with the Greenskins. Lovely comeback. Took advantage of the Fey kind of getting trapped and bogged down there. And when she got sniped like that, it was all to play from the Greenskins. Just took the initiative from that point onwards and started to run away with it because all the Bretonian forces are kind of just running for their life. I mean, is there any chance? No, not really. The second Paladin's gone. Knights around being chased off by the Goblin Big Boss. He's very fast on his wolf as well. With a whopping 92 speed. There's no way those Knights are going to be able to come back. And it looks like the players are just saying good luck, have fun, all that good stuff. The Mounted Yeomen are desperately trying to fight to the bitter end. I mean, 53 Orc Biggins isn't the craziest amount to cycle charge down, and the Giant Ritual Hag has gone down. Did I speak too early? Can the Bretonians still win this? The Bounce Power certainly does not think so. And the Morgans Major Marauders are now whittling shots into the rear of the Knights of the Realm, which is really bad news for them. It could be enough to break them. Orc Biggins just simply breaking against the tide of peasant mobs. The Skirmish Cavs giving it a good go, though, and we do have the resurgence of one of the Paladins. Paladins is on his way back. Mounted Yeomen are chasing off the spiders. They need to shatter this Giant Ritual Hag. Can't allow her to come back. One more Spirit Leech would be devastating to the Paladin. Although the Paladin just breaks, and he is going to eat a Spirit Leech. Army Losses kicks in. GG's, well played. Mofet got hit pretty hard in that first game, but swung back nicely and came in with the glorious punch there. It is 1-1, people. 1-1. Mofet, lovely play. Good recovery after losing his Lord so early. Only 560 value on the Night Goblin War Boss. 500 on the Goblin Big Boss. 790 on the Giant Ritual Hag. Not too shabby whatsoever. 840 value on the 8-Peak Loons. The Orc Biggins, though, carried the day. Jesus, man. 110 and 118 and 69 kills. 900 value. 2,822 damage value on a unit of Biggins is just outrageous. And 972 on the other unit. The cavalry just got butchered. It looks so bad in the early stages. All his cav just died. It got slaughtered. None of it got anywhere near making its value back. And even the skirmish cav failed. 780 was the highest on Morgana's Major Marauders. That came down to the Biggins and Charix just getting the face stuck and not being able to get her out in time. 1.3k value on her, 53 kills. If she had stayed alive in that fight and was able to pull back, there was no way I think that Charix was losing it. So, unfortunate slip up there does cost him that game. There's plenty of time, though, for a redemption arc, of course. This is a best of 5. 1.3k damage value on the Paladin is solid, and 1.3 on the other one. Peasants, of course, do nothing and just die. The Knights of the Realm got 54, 34, and 44 kills. Just shy of 600 value, 530 value, and 650. Western Knights, 778, 800 value, and just shy of 1,000 on the Knights of the Lionhearted with 1,000, that'd be amazing, but 155 kills. Mounted Yeomen were impressive, 400 value, 500, 300, and 440, though of the enemy skirmish relatively well. GG. Didn't think the Fae would die so quickly. Yeah, if she's surrounded, there's simply no way. If she's like surrounded, she will get butchered quite quickly. She's like one of the tankiest, squishiest lords in the game. It's so hard. Like sometimes she'll tank everything, and other times she gets absolutely slaughtered. Oasis is up next. Quack, quack, Mr. Blackthorn. Hope you're doing good, man. Loved your builds earlier on. Hope work was all good for you as well. I know you're kind of working and playing at the same time. That was a really good game for sure. That was a really good fun one. Greenskins did a good job scattering the Bretonnian HQ there. They end up all over the place and kind of eventually got dragged down. The Paladins left their lady, right? And she can't take on a whole unit by herself. She's powerful, but she's not that powerful. Unless she has the Chalice on her, honestly, and you can kind of drive back the enemy. Yeah, if you guys have only just joined late, there was also a very killer Lizardmen versus Beastie Boys battle. It was very good fun. So, you've missed the first 2 games of this best of 5, Zypher. I'm not sure where you were before then. Obviously, you've been sport, I'm afraid, on the semi-finals, because you can obviously see on the top of the screen who's qualified. But it is 1-0, which is good to see. That's the kind of thing we like. That is the kind of thing we like. And let's go back in. Cool, just checking that the stream was running all safe, and it is. And it is Oasis of False Hope up next. This is a map that I actually never even heard of before, and then we used it for the Teach Me Total War. I believe it was recommended by Nathan from CA, who's one of the guys who like run the event, or kind of like single-handedly pretty much run the event. And he like suggested this map, and ever since then I've actually been like slowly getting into the mod player scene because it's a pretty fun map. It's a pretty big open map. Both sides have high grounds if they want to play defensive. Nice and wide. Chags is going to pick Wood Elves and High Elves, so we're going to get some elf action for you pointed lovers out there. Well played indeed. Well played indeed, I agree. Yeah, Faye doesn't like the anti-large damage, particularly from like a unit like that where they're all surrounding her, so they're all going to hit. So her melee defense is half from anything hitting her from behind. And it really adds up. Like, she can tank other things way better than some of that. That's like the worst case scenario of her being surrounded by anti-large troops and isolated on her own. Because all their focus is on her, all their hits go to her. There's no chaff support, there's no paladins taking shots for her, there's no guardian because there's no paladins. And it became real nasty real quick. Real nasty real quick. You still have a nightmares from her getting one-shot by 2 goblin war bosses. If they can get in there quick enough, they can poke and poke all day long. Quack for the quack god. I agree. I agree. Quacks all around. It's kind of worrying that it's gone to a point in my life now where I think probably more people know me as Duck than my real name, but also when I see a duck in real life, I'm like, I'm not thinking, oh, it's a duck. I'm like, oh, it's one of my brethren. It's one of my allies. We're going to see some more Bretonnian action. Now, I think that's smart play by Mofet there. Wood Elves and High Elves can pick on Bretonnia, I think's good. It's definitely doable. We've seen players like Dacta and Loopy pull off the Wood Elves in this matchup before, and it's certainly not as bad as it once was. But it's still a little bit rough, but it's definitely doable, Wood Elves in to Bretonnia. High Elves, you would think would be good here because you have so many spears, right? To bring the pain to the enemy, but they tend to get run over, which is a bit of a problem for them. But it looks like we are going to see High Elves. I think it is doable. Color bolt throws to start bringing down cav from long range, and you know who's not terrible here? You know who's not terrible? Imric. Imric the Dragon Prince. He can have a place in this matchup, I feel. He can have a place. It's most likely be an Archmage, but I would love personally to see Imric here. Go toe-to-toe. Face the enemy head-on like King Theoden. Go cav against his cav. Bretonnia have really stagnated, so Elves is doable these days. Yeah, Bretonnia has stagnated quite a bit. They're still very good. Obviously, the changes to cavalry as well. I mean, they seem to be better when the cavalry was worse, but it's just because people didn't prepare to fight cavalry as much. But Bretonnia is still a very good faction, but very stagnant. I would agree on that one. Just having a little sip of some glorious water. Duck, what are your opinion on breadcrumbs? I can give you a fantastic cooking recipe with breadcrumbs if you want. You guys want me to give out a little bit of information? A little sneak peek behind the scenes of how to cook? So what you do your breadcrumbs, it's going to be pretty clear. This is going to blow your mind. It's going to blow your mind. Breadcrumbs are an essential ingredient to this meal. And breadcrumbs are essential to making good bread. You squish them together really freaking hard, like squeeze together, and you've made bread out of your breadcrumbs. And yeah, that's all you need to do to survive. Buy breadcrumbs, use them to make bread. It's a win-win situation. You're saving so much money. But my actual opinion on breadcrumbs, I think you get a little bit of breadcrumbs. I actually prefer doing this with Doritos because I'm a filthy animal. So what you do, you get your breadcrumbs, or you crunch up a load of Doritos. You get a pasta bake. About 10 minutes to go before the end of the pasta bake. You sprinkle the breadcrumbs, all the Doritos on top, add some cheese, and let it melt down. Mwah, delicious. That's my opinion on breadcrumbs. Delicious stuff. Yeah, shields up, spears operational. Basically, you're playing like a Spartan as the High Elves here. You've got to be careful because Bretonnians will spam Peasant Bowmen in this matchup. And you don't have the best answers to them. I mean, Lothar and Seagull are very naughty here as well. That's the big problem, is the armor piercing. The armor piercing can be problematic. It can be very problematic. And this is something the High Elves have suffered for quite some time. Like, dealing with single entities as well, like Lizardmen, it was always so fun bringing Lord Mazdamundi and, like, the Thunderous one, or another Stegodon. And they got all these spears and you just walk through them. Like, oh, okay, you got no AP and you got no mass, so I'm just gonna push through you and kill all your archers. But High Elf players certainly got better in recent times. I think High Elves have been a joke for a little while, or considered a joke by some people. I always thought they were okay, and certainly doable. But, nope, not back into the game. But now I think they've kind of come out of their shadow a bit and are doing decent work. Silver Helms or Shields are pretty good against Wood Elf Cavalry. Yeah, I can see them doing pretty good there. I mean, Grey Stags will overwhelm them. It depends on a lot of that on the charge. That's Wood Elf Cavalry in a nutshell, though. If Wood Elf Cavalry charges, it does so much damage. If it gets charged, it gets absolutely slammed. Absolutely slammed. Tricho, I told your other bot friend that you need to be more creative, man. You can't just come in here and say the same saying over and over again. You need to bring some pizzazz. Yell quack. Disguise yourself as someone in the community. Play some Total War games. Drop in the Discords. Say hi to people. Say what's up. And then you become a bot. But Tricho, you're not going to get past my guard like this. It's not going to happen. It is not going to happen. You have been defeated, my friend. You have been defeated. So let's get back into the game. So these guys are currently scheming and plotting, which is fine. Yeah, see, yeah. I agree as I feel. We want Slanesh bots back. And at least they had something to say, rather than just this rubbish they're saying at the moment. Like, give us something good. I want duck bots, man. Like some duck bots, just to come in, start yelling quack, start demanding bread, that kind of stuff. We basically are the duck bots. End of stream, I normally go to raid someone. Today, I'm not gonna lie, I might raid myself, because I haven't put out a video yet today, because I forgot how long DVDs take. So I'm gonna drop a video straight after this. And it's probably gonna do terrible, because it's gonna be like, I don't know, like 10:30 at the earliest, probably, by the time this is over, 11 maybe. I will try. Disco Skull! This shall be the most arrogant battle in the Warhammer universe. Yeah, it will be. The High Elves versus the Bretonnians. It's gonna be very, very arrogant. Let's quickly shoot a message in Discord. So actually, while I've got this bit of downtime. Yeah, let's pop back in the game. Cool. These guys are sorting themselves out. Who's your money on? Let's do some polls, because I haven't done any today. Let's do a poll. Let's do... Who will win? I miss doing these. Bretonia. Or the mighty High Elves. I kind of like rooting for the underdog. So I kind of want to root for the High Elves in this one. But, at the same time... Seeing Bretonia's like glorious carry charges can be a bucket ton of fun. It looks like Mofet is ready. We're just waiting on Charax now. Just waiting on the man, the myth, the legend. Oh, looks like he might be making some last second changes, which is obviously understandable as well. Waste of False Hope, very big map. Charak's famous for his Shadow Warrior Kite high elf play, but it's not going to be as doable now, which is very problematic. You also can't use as many chariots. I believe line chariots have been kind of pulled down to only being having to have 2 chariots instead of 3, which is a big loss for the high elves, actually. A very big loss. I don't mind because I hated casting it, you know, every single time high elves played. And it's very frustrating to play against as well. But it does make high elves a bit weaker, which is also why I kind of want to try and make the Star Dragon come back a little bit by taking away that dragon rule. I don't think they're amazing, but at least gives high elves something, you know, now that they've been hit by the nerf. Now that they've been hit by it. If Charak's kites, I have to root for him. Man, if he... The problem is, like, it's... You can kite this as Wood Elves because you have Way Watchers, and they have the AP to kill the Knights quickly. The Shadow Warriors do not have the AP. Now... I've got something stuck in my throat there. Now, you do have Plague of Rust, which can help, but that isolates one target and one target only, and you kill that unit of Knights, and there's a load of other Knights ramrodding you in the rear, and it's not a good time for anyone. So, I don't know if it's the best option. It's possible, though. I thought it was the Wood Elves. No, it's High Elves. It be the High Elves. A pretty cool map. It is just freaking huge. Both players kind of have this like high ground situation if they want, but the rest is rather open. In the middle, actually, it's pretty... there's a load of little hills, pretty even in this central bit here. I have to see how it does roll, and it looks like we're seeing Foot Imric. Well, if you weren't rooting for the underdogs already, I'm just going to leave this here for like 2 seconds. Look at that. Look at that cape in the wind. Imric, Foot Imric, coming in with the Chad Lord of Dragons pick. We have a Major Fire with Fireball and a Burning Head. We do have a triple Eagle Bolt Thrower, a Bucket and a Spearman in the form of Silvern Guard and Spearman dotted all the way along, so a big load of shield walls. We have a nice little core of 4 Lothran Sea Guard, which I like quite a bit. Some of these are different. Oh, we have shielded ones and non-shielded ones. So 4 Lothran Sea Guard to bring the pain, then countershoot enemy archers, and likewise have the anti-large in case the enemy cavalry comes in. Pretty big fan, and I like the fact he's got the bolt throw so he can take this high ground defensive formation. Now for the forces of Bretonia, it does look like they themselves are going to attempt to countershoot with their artillery, which is going to be a bit of a mistake because they only have 2 artillery pieces in the form of field trebuchets, and they're not even blessed. A load of peasant mobs making up the front line for the Bretonians. Likewise, we have men-at-arms on the flanks and battle pilgrims in the middle. We have 1, 2, and 3 knights here. Looks like double Grail knights, and then the Knights of the Lion-Hearted in the middle, which are actually the regiment renowned Knights of the Realm. We have Fey Enchantress on horseback, as is standard. Triple peasant archers in that central core. The Fey coming in with Dweller's Blow and Earthblood, as is her wont these days. And then we have double Paladin up in the skies, flying gloriously to battle. Now, normally as a rule of thumb, I'd rather take my Paladins in the same format my person I'm trying to guard is. So Fey Enchantress, he's on a horseback, I take my paladins on horseback. If she's on foot, I take them on foot. But I guess an exception here would be the flyers because you do gain that extra battlefield mobility. Now, the bolt throwers do come in with a glorious 380 range. Field trebuchets 440, so the high elves may be forced to move forwards into a disadvantaged situation, or they sit back and absorb the field trebuchet shots because field trebuchets aren't actually that accurate and don't do huge damage. Although we do have fireballs as well to help take down the trebuchets, which could be quite nice. But you just absorb the damage and then use your own trebuchets to kill, or your bolt throwers, sorry, to kill the peasant archers and kill the Fey and all that other good stuff. Looks like Chax is ready, saying good luck, have fun. Imric is indeed shown he's got good wood. That is his pole arm, for sure. He does look slightly awkward. He's like, where's my horse? Yeah, to sell his dragon. His horse actually might be the cooler looking mount. I know that's controversial because the dragon's so cool, but his horse looks so amazing. So you can see the Major Fire is going to be darting forward. Needs to be a little bit careful because of the paladins, but obviously wanted to poke at the field trebuchets if possible. Bolt throwers are moving up, continuing to hold the high ground for now, and it looks like they're actually going to be shooting into the Grail Knights instead. And it looks like they do clip them, not doing any kills just yet, but we can follow this next bolt, and it does land between 2 knights, but unfortunately goes harmlessly into the dust there, as more shots are starting to be ripped. The peasants are born to die this way. They were bred at when they were kind of out of the womb. The first thing they were told is you're going to die in a horrible way in the name of Bretonia, and that's just what they're doing right now. Eagle bolt throws are lining up the ground knights, a little bit more successful on this right hand side, doing some pretty decent damage to them. Field trebuchet shots are lining up against the Silver Guard, not the most accurate unfortunately for them, and it looks like the High Elves now don't have a choice. They're going to kind of have to absorb this damage. Big fat burning head coming down on the Peasant Bowman, and it looks like it was missed by Motha only for half a second, but half a second is all you need, and the Peasant Bowmen are probably going to break here. They do get an early Earth Blood, but they've lost quite a few models there. Lovely class coming in by the Mage of Fire. Now this is a big problem though. The Double Paladins are just going to bomb rush the back line, and there's not that much the High Elves can do. Imric's trying to fight his way through, but he's trying to get through the hordes of scary peasants. Decapitates 4 or 5 of them in one swing though, which is very impressive, and the peasants no doubt are going to break from that, but Imric's going to have a hard time keeping up with where the Paladins are. Now the Knights are the focus of attention from the boat throwers, which I agree with. I think that is the best use of their time right now. Battle Pilgrims are starting to swarm into the Lothran Sea Guard, who are attempting to deal with the Peasant Bowmen. They've done it successfully, but now there's a big gaping hole in the middle of this build. In the rear, we have Grail Knights trying to recharge some Silver Guard, who simply turn and engage them in time. Grail Guardians or Grail Knights, sorry, aren't going to have the best time there. Fey Enchantress is surrounded by anti-large infantry. We've seen this before. Silver Guard are poking down the Fey. She's taking so much damage, but it looks like Motha learned from the mistakes of his opponent in the last game. Is going to get out of there as quickly as physically possible. Now, Imric has been able to catch a Paladin. The Paladin is trying to run, and I do not blame the Paladin because Imric is scary as hell, man. Lord of Dragons goes down. Look at your stats. They're garbage now. And it looks like the Paladin is going to be broken here. Fey Enchantress then tries to bomb rush in. Imric twirls his halberd around and catches her horse, doing some big damage. We do get a Dwellers Below on the Lothran Sea Guard, which obviously is going to do some nice work there, but the Fey may get killed here. Imric, he is not in a gaming mood. He is here for a slaughtering bloodfest, and the Fey Enchantress is starting to waver. Luckily for them, luckily for the Bretonnians, there is no, like, fast skirmishers for the High Elves to really chase off the Fey. Imric is getting down and dirty, but can he finish the Fey off? We don't have any operational bolt throwers right now. If the bolt throwers are online, they can shoot her in the rear, and she can't juke, of course, being in a fleeing kind of stance. The trebuchets doing some decent damage, but hey, they're just trebuchets. I'm not honestly that worried about them. The Paladin, the second Paladin, is being caught now by Imric. Imric's been getting around, doing some pretty decent damage. Let's take an overarching view of the battlefield now. High Elves are holding. Battle Pilgrims and Men-at-Arms are starting to grind down. Balance power is very heavy right now in favor of the High Elves, but the Fey Enchantress, of course, has survived. She gets massive magic resistance. Is it worth popping a 360 no-scope fireball, though? Into her, try and break her. Probably not now that a big fat Earthblood does go down. We have the Charm Shield as well. The Paladin's not having the best of days. We do get that fireball going into the Fey. It curls and whips around, does some damage, but she's got like 60% resistance or something, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 60% magic resistance, which is just really nasty. Bretons are looking at very beat up. We do have the Peasant Bowmen coming back. The trebuchets are up to 24 and 20 kills so far. You can see the Grail Knights, though, just going down to the mass of spears. And the Bolt Thrower crew is alive in the middle here. They need to try and go onto one of their Bolt Throwers and apply pressure to these Paladins and to the Fey, so they can't keep just running away like this and healing up. Silver Guard coming back to the main fight. Paladin considering going for a solo charge, but decides against it. We have a big amount of pressure coming in from the Bretonnians on this flank, but there are Silver Guard here. And, of course, the Fey Enchantress does magic damage, and Silver Guard don't really give a damn about her whatsoever, and she's going to get herself caught, unfortunately, in a Silver Guard sandwich. She was trying to get out of here. She does pop an Earthblood. She's probably out of Winds of Magic to drop her Dwellers down on all these troops, and Imric is nearby, but he's currently dispatching a couple of Knights of the Lion-Hearted. Another well-placed Burning Head goes down the back, forcing off Peasant Bowmen, and now we have Spearmen driving away the Bretonnian forces. On the left-hand side, though, the High Elves are starting to buckle. Silver Guard looking very healthy, but likewise the Paladin slaughtering that Bolt Thrower crew. Fey Enchantress is able to escape here. The Knights of the Lion-Hearted do go down. We do get yet another Fireball going after the Fey. It does kill some of her own troops, unfortunately. Not the best fireball there. Does no damage to the Fey and actually kills a few Silver Guard. Lothran Sea Guard try to walk down the Fey, who is getting relatively close to their healing cap now, which is really good news for the High Elves in general. There is a lot of pointy ears and a lot of pointy spears left on the battlefield, but the High Elves don't want to spread out too much and find themselves picked apart by the added mobility of Bretonnia. The Paladin is doing an okay job. Peasants are having to crossfire into Spearmen, though, which is obviously not a good use of their ammo, but hey, it has to be done. They're now getting driven away by Silver Guard. The Field Trebuchets still have decent ammunition, though, so Bretonians can certainly try their best to cycle charge and pull this one out. It's not looking good for them, though, whatsoever. Knights Lionhearted do shatter. The Fair Enchantress has been forced to hide in the trees away from her men, who probably think that she's abandoned them right now. The Paladin is trying his best. The Mage actually going in. He goes, get back here, you wannabe knight. I'm the true master of this realm. Driving back the Paladin, who does take quite a few arrow shots as well. Paladin is forced back, not wanting to engage the Mage, just in case it does bring the wrath of Imric and the gaze of him upon him. The Paladins, though, both do have potential to heal here. We do have Earthbloods coming in from the Fae, of course. Still could be anyone's game, though. I would say the High Elves are in a big state of advantage. And now the Silvern Guard are doing the long trek. The long trek into the field trebuchets. The reason you do this as well with the Silvern Guard, if the Paladins come over to try and stop you, you're pretty good counter to them as well, and they're going to take big damage. But the field trebuchets need to fire into these guys. I guess you have to commit the Paladins and all the peasants to try to hold back the enemy. Peasant bowmen are being shut down by Silvern Guard on this flank. They're just wavering by the mere presence of the elves right now. And these peasants not doing too good. The other Grail Knights are going to be getting forced back here. The Fae can, of course, heal up, though. Likewise can these Paladins. I think the field trebuchets probably going to drop their artillery pieces and run. Just make this as long and annoying a game for the High Elves to see out as physically possible and keep fighting to the death. And we've seen Mofet is really talented at fighting to the death and kind of swinging these games back onto their head. Field Trebuchet crew is going to drop their artillery piece and start to leg it. They are only 20 speed, though. The Silvern Guard do come with a whopping 33, so we'll be able to catch them. There's a temptation right now to push off and shut down this other unit instead. It was probably better to go for this one, otherwise you'll be playing cat and mouse all day long. Silvern Guard here do actually come into confrontation with the Paladins, but the Paladins, without the lady nearby, who they think has gone back to her lovely lake, think, you know what, if she's not going to stand a fight, why should we? Why should we? They decide to break, and the High Elves are victorious. Yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. So, Charax coming through with a glorious victory. I love to see it, and I'm going to copy this high elf build. This is a really good high elf build to go up against Bretonia. Imric, 1,700 damage value, 22 kills is just such good work. Anytime there's a big threat, pin the enemy in place of spears, bonk him on the head with a halberd, he's your man for the job. Major Fire, 956 damage value and 123 kills. Spearman did okay. The Silvern Guard as well across the board, just mid to high hundreds damage value. Pretty good display by them. Likewise, Spearman in the hundreds range. The Lothran Sea Guard, 500 value, 766, 1,620. Equal Borrow Throwers, 500, 300, and 200 value. So nice spread of damage for the most part from the High Elves to seal victory today. Now, the Fae Enchantress, 51 kills, 1,000 damage value on her. The Paladins got dumpstered, 580 and 200 value. The Peasant Mobs didn't do too much. The Infantry Corps, Battle Pilgrims did okay, 313, representing Detroit there. This unit of Battle Pilgrims, the other unit, 613 value. Peasant Mobs, oh, the Peasant Archers just got obliterated. Good target priority coming in by Charax to finish them off. 488 value on the Knights of Lionhearted, 230, 559 on the Grail Knights. Real bad day for them. And though the Field Trebuchets were able to fire in a relatively long game the entire time, they only got 640 and 530 value. So I think it's the right decision from Charax not to push forward to disadvantaged terrain early on, and instead focus down the Knights and leave the Trebuchets to the end. But GG's, well played to both players. Up next, we will be on the Valley of Thieves. GG. Let us update the scoreboard. Mr. Charax shall be going up in a 2-1 situation. He is very close, very, very close to glory. Oh no. Sorry, just helping someone out with something quickly. And then we get back to it. Mofet going Vampire Counts or Chaos. We haven't seen any Chaos today. How have we not seen Chaos today, guys? Chaos is like always picked. Always picked. We haven't seen them yet. Chaos Vampire Count. What to do in Charax's position? Beastmen? Beastmen are a possibility. GG says everyone in chat. I agree. Gotta go, Sally. Have fun. No worries. Black Form. No worries, my dude. Cypher's turned into a Borg. He has. He has. Sovereign Guard rolling like bosses over the battlefield. Yeah, Sovereign Guard kind of carried the day there. It's really cool to see them in action. Yeah. Oh, do you... Wait, what? Since the ammo will disappear suddenly? Does that work? Does your ammo disappear when you're not on your artillery piece? I don't think that was the case, but maybe. Damn. That's kind of cool to know, man. I still see this game's been out like 4 or 5 years, still learning stuff. And Sovereign Guard was such a boon to high. That was 100%. 100%. Yeah, GG's across the board. That was an awesome game. Was an awesome game indeed. Jack's going Dark Elves. Hey. It's probably going to be Dark Elves Chaos. If Mofet goes Vampire Counts, he's a mad lad. Though he's a Vampire Count main, so he would have faced it a lot, and he'll know the tricks of the trade. Yeah, Chaos. Okay, Dark Elves v Chaos. Edge v Edge. Yo, what's up, Eddie? Yo, dang, started 2 hours ago. Better late than never. Yeah, you've made it for the finals. Possibly the final game of the stream. Chax is 2-1 up right now in this best of 5 final, so he needs 1 more win. Mofet needs 2. So you need to root for Mofet if you want to see more action. Root for the boy. But hope you're doing all good, Eddie. Just going to send a quick message. Cool, cool. And it's the Valley of Thieves, which is a big, fat, open map. If they do go past this, we will have the mighty Alpine Ridge waiting for them in the grand finals here. But the winner, of course, of today's stream will book themselves a spot alongside Callaharman in the DVD Season 10 grand finale. We do have 2 other qualifiers, and if you want to play in those qualifiers, there's always ways to do that. Basically, well, I say there's ways to do that. There's one way to do that. Join my Discord. There's a link down below in the description, and you can join all my events and so forth from there. Yeah, see, perfect timing, Eddie. Although you've missed, like, some insane games. There was a Lizardman game earlier on, which was just wild. It was crazy. I think that's going to be quite hard to top, but we've had some good games so far. In fact, this, like, final's been very good between Charax and Mofet. All the games are worthwhile. There's not... Occasionally, you get a game, you know, where it's just a complete overrun because of, like, a bad pick, or not, like, even... a bit of, like, build roulette. There's a few different things that can go against you, but all the games have been very good. Very, very good. So I'm excited for hopefully 2 more games, but either way, I'm sure this game will be good as well. Mofet's ready to rumble, and he still has Vampire Counts. He will definitely pick Vampire Counts in the next game if he has the option. Well, he'll be picking 3 and banning 1, but he'll definitely if he could. Sorry, Zypher, man. Normally, I don't host these on Mondays. Normally, Monday is a day I try and get a load of videos done. But because I'm not going to be around Thursday, which is when I normally stream this week, I had to move it, so I moved it to Monday. So apologies, bro, but I'll get you in from the next one for sure. Always good to see Zypher in action. Very good Elvish player. Yeah, you can always go back and watch it, no worries. The whole video will be uploaded, and just as this finishes, I'm going to upload a video as well. I'll probably upload it as I'm talking to you guys, and then I can link it. If you guys aren't tired of the glorious action. But it will be quite late, so... a bit of a shame. I should have popped out the video much earlier on. But oh well. It's a good video as well. I think it features Logic. Features Logic playing Dwarf. Surprise, surprise. His favorite faction. Just waiting on the man, myth, the legend now. Just good once again. As usual, every now and again just check stream healthiness. It looks like it's very healthy. Let's quickly create a new poll. What's up, Pantalonada? How's it going, champ? $5 if Chaos win. I can dream. Oof. Oof. Come on, Mofet. Buy me some bread. Right. We have now Dark Elves. Oh. Yeah, who will win? Who will win? Let's go Dark Elves. Or Chaos. Let's see what you guys say to that. And let's load into the game. Looks like Chax is still contemplating. Hey, what's up, Panther? It's been a long time, man. Hope you're all good. Hope you're all good. Hope you're getting pumped up for all the glorious Warhammer 3 stuff that's going to be coming out in the future. You've made it in time for possibly the final game of the stream, but 100% recommend going back. We've had some, like, insane games, particularly this final. If you're going to watch anything, watch this final. It's very good. Chax just says he needs a second. That's okay. Contemplating his life choices. Figuring out what he's going to do. How he's going to slay his enemies. Dark Elves v Chaos is very interesting. I actually quite like Hell Cannons here. Good at targeting down Marathi in the sky. Pretty decent as well as wiping out Dark Riders and Squadron of Chariots. It's going to be tough for Mofa though. Chax, as we said before, very good mobility player. Coming with Squadronners and Dark Riders. Could pick the Chaos apart, but Chaos, of course, have a bucket ton of their own skirmishers. Double Hell Cannon is even possible, but it does leave you a little bit thin on the front line to actually protect the troops, which can be a tiny bit rough. What faction are you excited for in Warhammer 3? A little bit of all of them, if I'm being honest, if I'm being greedy. But mostly, I'm going to say Kislev for multiplayer, Tzeentch for campaign. Kislev for multiplayer, Tzeentch for campaign is what I'm most looking forward to. Kislev, just the bears. Honestly, the bears, they do it for me. They look really freaking awesome. And then campaign-wise, the reason it's not Kislev for that as well is just because I think it's in territory we've kind of seen before. And I want to explore some of the crazier stuff. And Tzeentch's campaign, like mechanics and stuff, are going to just be like baller. So I really want to explore that. Hop back into the game. Cool. Jack's still thinking about it. I just learned today that Big Bear is called Boris. I think... Oh wait, the one they summon. It's called Boris. If so, that's hilarious. Because I think one of the leaders might be called Boris, maybe his bear might be called Boris, but he's not in the game. I think he's died at this point. Maybe he'd be DLC. His daughter's like leading the Kislevs. I'm not as interested in the Kislev second commander, but the Ice Queen looks really cool. I mean, actually, no, the Fanatic looks pretty awesome. He looks pretty awesome. But come on, Ice Queen like skate into battle on shards of ice. Ogre Kingdoms or bust. Ogre Kingdoms are going to be fun. Though I did do a poll. I did a poll on all the non-demonic factions and all the demonic factions on who people were most excited to play. Kislev won by a mile and O Kingdoms lost on the non-demonic factions, and the demon factions were very even split. I think Nurgle just about won it, but it was all very close in comparison. By comparison. So, let's have a cheeky little look at this Dark Elf build. And Zypher, we've got a little treat for you. I'm going to do a little zoom up just for you, buddy, because I know you love Marathi. Bam. Right there. There is your queen, your lady. We have, of course, Marathi coming with Soul Sealer up in the skies with double Ferromanticore, as is the way of the Dark Elf people. Triple Dark Riders, repeater crossbows. We're going to be making up a nice cheeky little vanguard. A couple of Dread Spears dotted all the way along. Bleak Swords holding it down in the back, as well as the Hageneth Executions. I love this mix-up of bringing in some elite infantry as well to a cheap and cheerfulish front line, just because you can pop them in at the right time and they can really anchor your build nicely. I like the build quite a bit. We have, of course, a bolt thrower, double squadron of chariots. It's some lovely stuff. Now, for the forces of the Warriors of Chaos, of course, we're coming in with the Sword of Damnation, the Regiment Hell Cannon. That is the traditional way to play against the Dark Elves. You then bring a load of your own Skirmish Cav. We have 6 Skirmish Cav, which is a load of Royal Horsemen. And by the way, some in the chat are going to like this, some are not. Be warned, I believe in my next comment, I am going to cut Skirmish Cav down to 5 instead of 6 and see how the reaction is to that in general. So be warned, people, if you're planning to practice and get your build sorted, I am going to be cutting down the amount of skirmish cav you can have. So be warned. We do have Forsaken and Chaos Marauders dotted along Forsaken Guard in the flanks, which is actually pretty useful because they're very quick as well, so they can whip around and get on top of the enemy. And we have Chaos Spawn. It does look like Mofet loves his Chaos Spawn rushes. And we actually have a Chaos Sorcerer Lord on Dragon, which is a freaking awesome mount. It looks so badass, so gangster. I don't get to see it as enough, you know? It's coming with Burning Head, Cascading Firecloak, and Fireball. How can you not be terrified of a mount which has a mouth for an armpit? Look at that. It is disgusting. Is the other one on this side as well? He does. He's got so many mouths. It's horrible. He's even got 2 heads. It's a beautiful looking mount in all the wrong ways. Without further ado, let's get this battle underway. Now, the bolt thrower is instantly going to want to target down there the Sword of Damnation if it's in range and can reach. To counteract that, we do have the fireballs coming in from the, of course, Chaos Source Lord of Fire. And rather quickly, Charax instantly just drops his artillery pieces and hops off them. Unfortunately, the spell was cast before they did that, meaning it's going to target the artillery pieces, and it does take one of them out of play. Now, the enemy skirmish cav is going to be getting forced back here. Squadron Chariots are very good at this. The Hell Cannon is, it seems, trying to hit the bolt thrower, I would think, trying to take out the biggest threat to it. We do have the wand, though, on Marathi, I believe, right? He did bring the wand. So the wand combined with the bolt thrower should be enough to take it out, you'd think. We've got a second quick fire fireball going down the line, aiming at the Reaper bolt thrower, which is probably going to lose another artillery piece. It does. It loses another artillery piece, and the bolt thrower, not a happy ducky whatsoever. It does look like the Dark Riders are actually going to get caught here as the Horsemen move into hand-to-hand combat. They can, of course, not 360 shoots the Dark Riders. That's one of their big weaknesses. Squadron Chariots can, luckily. Manticores and Marathi are going to swoop in and fend off the Horsemen, at least for now. Dark Riders need to turn around and engage once more. This Soul of Damnation is going to do so much work. It's now focusing down the Squadron of Chariots. Reaper bolt thrower does say on its tooltip it has all 3 artillery pieces. I do not think so. It looks like it has just the 1. Fireball then takes that away as well. That's really lucky, the fireballs. 3 shots, 3 dead artillery pieces is really nasty. And Dark Elves all of a sudden going to have to get nice and aggressive. Marathi, flying high in the sky, is taking a load of damage right now from the Horsemen and Horse Masters, and she is not enjoying that one bit. The big Hell Cannon shot does swoop down, catching the Squadron of Chariot, doing some relatively decent work. Things are looking really good for the Wars of Chaos out the gates. Like, the Hard Executioners can't even engage because the Hellpit Abomination will destroy them. This cavalry could, even if it wants, whip up and around and start focusing down the Hard Executioners and bringing a little bit of pressure onto the enemy. Hellpit Abomination, or Hellpit Abominations, Hell Cannons, my god, you can tell I've been streaming for a while when I call a Hell Cannon a Hellpit, but the Hell Cannon is focusing down the Squadron of Chariots. 2 models on one of the units. Looks like it could indeed go down to just the 1 model, but it does just about survive there, the pain from the enemy. Skirmish Cav is being driven back once more by the Dark Elf forces, but it's quite tough to know what to hit. Now, the infantry is not too much of a concern, but Double Chaos Spawn and the Forsaken on the flanks will be nasty. Marafi's taking considerable damage now. Squadron Chariots are just losing this fight against the enemy skirmish cav. They're trying to fall back behind the spearmen, but it's simply not working. And the Squadron of Chariots are getting picked apart long range by the Hell Cannon. Plus these fireballs, a real masterful performance so far by Mofet and his Warriors of Chaos. Squadron of Chariots going to be going down here without bringing it too much to the battlefield so far. And even Marathi isn't looking super healthy. The Reaper Bolt for a crew was just trying to waste ammunition on the Horsemen. Looks like they do manage to fulfill that role, but unfortunately, of course, will perish in the effort. Manticores try to swoop down upon the Horse Masters, but again, it's going to be a losing fight for them, because if they rampage here, they can get dragged and sucked in to the main Chaos Force, which is starting to push up now nice and aggressive, which is good. It can create distance between the Soul Damnation and the main battle line. The Soul Damnation, only 12 kills so far, but the damage value is 1,000 already, which is absurd. The Immortal Horsemen going to continue to rotate backwards where possible. One Chaos Manticore has started to rampage, and it's simply going to be flapping its wings slowly towards the Horse Masters. Might honestly be worth the Chaos Sorcerer Lord just dumpstering this guy, swooping down and finishing it off. It looks like that's just what he's going to do here, and the Manticore is getting devoured and eaten. Now, we are going to get a Soul Stealer come down to catch out the Chaos Sorcerer Lord and the Chaos Spawn. Not a bad idea to get back into the game. Not only will it heal up Marathi, it also takes away HP from the enemy general who can't heal themselves. Hell Cannon Shot does whiz through the air, correcting its course to hit Marathi, and though she got the Soul Stealer, she is not looking healthy whatsoever. Frontline is finally underway. Dark Riders continue to hound and harass the Horsemen and Horse Masters, trying to get them off the battlefield. Hell Cannon Shot this time whizzes narrowly past Marathi, nearly catching her off guard. The Dread Spears are going to push forward. Marauders are going to have a filled day against these High Elves, though, or Dark Elves, as they can easily carve them through. Marauders, particularly when they get their nice little buff up and they go in Berserk Rage mode, they can really do some nasty damage. They're kind of battering shields against one another. Dark Riders trying to get in good engagements. Likewise, the Manticores are attempting to swoop in and take out the enemy front line, but Marathi is so disgustingly danger low right now. That Hell Cannon is really, really bringing the pain. We still have one Feral Manticore, but there's a lot of javelins left on the Horsemen. They're trying to poke it down. You can see it stuttering in the air there. Dread Spears are moving up through the gaps in the enemy battle line, but elsewhere the Chaos are actually winning the frontline engagements, which is fantastic news for them. We do, of course, have the Hardened Executioners. They've been able to ignore or kind of stay hidden for the majority of artillery damage as well as skirmish damage so far. But now they're getting towards the enemy front line. I feel like the Chaos priority may indeed switch here. Manticore's trying its best to beat back the enemy front line. It can't push into the back lines because there's so many Horse Masters nearby. Marathi does manage to come back after narrowly missing kind of fallen off the board. We do have Horse Masters whipping up and around the flanks, so that's kind of bad news for Marathi because she has nowhere to escape now. Scorchon Chads are trying their best to counter skirmish in the back lines, likewise are the Dark Riders, but it's looking very, very bleak for the Dark Hills, and it has done it for a long time. Another fireball is going to be coming in. It is going very long range here, shooting after Marathi, and we can kind of follow it arcing there, swooping in, and it looks like Charax is going to bow out there. That is going to be 2-all in this best of 5 series. We are going all the way, baby, all the way here to the best of 5 final. Well played to both these guys. That was probably the most dominant display we've seen so far in this best of 5 final. Had the Soul of Damnation, 2.2k damage value, disgusting, nearly 2.3. Marshall played with the Skirmish Cav, all in that kind of like 700 damage value range and 500 damage value range. And good play, 678 with the Chaos Sorcerer Lord, taking out the Bolt Throw's artillery pieces like a master. And you can see Bolt Throw did basically nothing, Manticores basically nothing, Scourgerunners basically nothing. There was almost no damage value made anywhere across the board for this build. Marathi only 880 from the Lady of Evil, who often performs so well. It's such a odd sight seeing her perform, you know, obviously not having the best of days there. Up next, we will be moving to Alpine Ridge here. GG. Alpine Ridge is up next. Mofet to pick 3 and ban 1. GG. The Dark Masters are pleased. The Dark Masters are indeed pleased. We got that juicy Chaos victory that we demanded. You think the Chaos Sorcerer Lord is going to have a bad day today? Oh no, man. Major Miller calling it early there. Calling it early. Here we go. Good luck, Chaos. Little duck picture. I love the little duck pictures. The little one with the bread knife. The split head. Yeah, it's very cool. This is a real nice Chaos build. I thought it was a very nice build. It was a big, nice open map as well, so you could kind of buff pretty nicely. Hell Cannon and plus Fireball plus 6 Marauder Cavalry is pretty mean. For sure, it is very mean. It is very mean instead. Yeah, you could just use mouthwash instead of deodorant, I would think. Christmas Thursday. That's a good point. Yeah, just chuck some mouthwash in there, be fine. I don't know if dragons are the type to normally go for mouthwash, if I'm being perfectly honest. But yes, GG across the board. War Domination, that was a fantastic game. Very well played there to the Mighty Mofet. Again, we've got more bots coming in. Arky Fire, I already told your friends. I told your friend bots. You gotta get creative. You're not gonna slip through my keen duck-like eyes with messages like that. So, boop. You have been defeated. You have been defeated. If you guys are enjoying the stream, by the way, feel free to drop a like and a subscribe if you haven't already. I mean, what are you doing if you haven't subscribed, man? You want to be part of the Great Duck Nation? It's going to be crazy. Let's end that poll quickly. Once the ducks do rise up from the ponds and start slaughtering the humans, I shall not forget. I do not forget you. Breath attacks seem like an efficient way to clean your mouth. True. True. I don't know if they'd work the same with like noxious breath and so forth. Really good Dragonplay from Chaos. Kept us cool. Yeah, just kept it away from the fight, you know? Chatbots assemble. Assemble. So it looks like Mofet's considering his options, which he's going to need to do, because picking 3 factions and banning 1, you forget what factions you've played, what ones your opponents played. It can be a bit of a nightmare. A little bit of a nightmare. A little tiny bit. Hope you guys are enjoying this, though. It's been good fun. 10 pounds of Chaos wins again. I don't know if we're going to see Chaos again, I'm afraid. It's going to be pick 3. Ban 1, so we don't know what they're going to be playing yet. They're just currently stuck on those. They're currently stuck on them. I'm going to butcher your name, but also happy smiley peace symbol to you as well. Mr. PL is what we're going to call you, because that's your last bit, your name, Mr. PL. It looks like a Polish name, so my pronunciation will probably be horrible enough. So I will not try, I will call you Mr. PL. You are the Premier League of the Total War fandom. We can't have asked for much more, guys. We can't have asked for much more. One of the best of 3s went all the way to the 3rd game. I think the first best 3 was 2-0, right? But then apart from that, we've got all the games. We've gone all the way. We've been streaming for like 3 hours nearly now. I'm feeling it in my voice a little bit in my mind. But hey, one more game to go. We'll make it through this together. Hopefully I'll save my voice after this, so, oh, big stretch. Hopefully I'll save my voice after this, because I've got to do a lot of videos over the next couple of days. So, vampire count, vampires, wood elves, ban wood elves? We could see chaos here. But it's unlikely, I think, Chak, to go chaos. What would I do? I would go lizardmen. Oh, would I go? I'd probably go lizardmen ban VP, but... Actually, probably lizardmen ban wood elves on this map. But I think Chak's already used lizardmen. They can't do that. We've seen him play... Oh, I would go wood elves. Yeah, I would... Oh, no, he's banned wood elves, of course. I'm dumb. Sorry, I would have gone wood elves and banned wood elves. That would have been great. He's banned them. This is a tough one. What would you guys do, chat? What would you do in Chak's position now? Bearing in mind the factions he's used already. You could go dwarfs, ban wood elves. It's okay. It'd be dwarfs versus vampire counts. There's no way Mofet goes VP here. If he does, he's a mad lad. There's a chance he won't ban wood elves. It is a horrible matchup for dwarfs now, simply due to the fact it's just mad kitey and it will fall asleep. I'll like leave chat for a while and come back later, but it's possible. A true Chad would take dwarfs no ban. I mean, you heard it here, people. You heard it here. Although Chax is tempted to go with Warriors of Chaos, it would seem. I would like to see some dwarf action. We haven't seen dwarfs today. We have not seen dwarfs today. I would like to see some. And pray for the mirror. Or if he goes VC and gets a mirror, I'm going to cry, Zypher. I'm going to cry. Live on stream. I'll get a face cam on and everything. It's going to be disgusting. Speaking of face cam, just because some of you guys haven't seen this before, let me show you something cool. I know a lot of you have if you've caught some of my previous streams. But... oh, no, that's the wrong thing. Ooh. Like, look just behind me now. That's what I got for Christmas. Look at that. You see it? It's a giant duck. It's a giant duck poster saying release the Quacker, and it's awesome. It is very cool. Boop, let's pop that away. And go back to the Glorious Battle. Maybe Empire. Empire's possible. It looks like he's cycling through his builds right now. Empire ban VC, maybe? Empire versus Wood Elves. Hear me out here. Hear me out. People call me crazy. They call me crazy. Hear me out. Empire. Silver bullets, of course, to protect. Steam tank. You bring the steam tank against the Wood Elves. You bring the steam tank against the Wood Elves. It is awesome against them. It's so cool. You bring that and Volkmar. They've only got enough arrows to kill one of them. And you survive. And you see Stoke Duck? Yeah, sure. So, some people don't know the legend of why I'm called a rubber duck of war, but it is because of a certain duck, which started it all. So, I have, this is so weird. I have a Stoke Duck, the legendary, the OG, the original. And then, unfortunately, since I started creating the channel, it's become a serious problem. People keep sending me ducks. So, I have a Joker duck that I got for my birthday a while ago. The little Joker. Actually, I don't know if it was my birthday. I might have got that just as a present from a friend. And then for Christmas, one of my housemates got me Kratos duck. So it's like the God of War Kratos with a duck. I love the beard. He's got a little axe which comes off as well. So that's quite cool. I got given a load of duck socks, which came in a fin like this. So I got a load of duck socks for Christmas, which I think I'm actually wearing right now. So I'm wearing duck socks. There is about 50, or no, 30 probably, of these guys, which are like tiny, tiny little rubber ducks, which I occasionally hide around my house if my housemates notice them. And somewhere we have this little demon, the devil duck, which we keep hidden away because one day I went to work, I came back from work, and it was just sitting on my pillow, and no one's claimed it. No one's claimed it. I'm suspicious of my housemates, but also maybe some kind of satanic cult put it there. Who knows? Either way, it lives with me now. I adopt all the ducks. Oh, it looks like someone's struggling to find the stream. So, let me... Oh, I just realized, I don't think I... Oh, God, I didn't advertise my stream, like, at all. That's really bad of me. That's really bad. Oh, God, okay. Let's pop this in. Did I not do that at all? I didn't say I was going live on my Discord. Oh well, amateur mistakes. You need to explain to me how this is a problem. Yeah, like, it's even like my best mate's mum's sent me a message on Facebook and was like, oh, I saw this and thought of you. And I clicked on it and it was just a picture of like a load of rubber ducks that like were in a museum or something. So I've become the duck guy. You gotta collect them like Pokemons, exactly. So, this is kind of crazy. I don't have a duck costume. I have, way before I was known as Rubber Duck War, before I had a YouTube channel, I think before probably I started playing Total War, at least came back playing Total War, I played as a kid, played like a lot of the Rome ones. I was in a stage play at Brighton Fringe Festival, and I had a scene where I was dressed as a gigantic rubber duck. So I have worn a full rubber duck costume. I have shown the picture on stream before, I'll have to find it. It's really weird, really weird. So we are getting chaos. I can't remember who wanted chaos. Someone really wanted chaos. I believe it was Eddie wanted chaos. So we're getting a second chaos game. Second chaos game. We're getting chaos versus VP. Banned VC, which just makes perfect sense. Mofit didn't want to play the Wood Elf Kite game here, so he's going for VP. Chaos v VP. I think I know what Mofit's going for here, most likely. Going for the mass air dominance is like the best way to do this, I think. What was I gonna do? I was gonna do a poll, that's what I was doing. Like, why am I coming out of the game? So, who will win? We have Chaos, the Mighty, or BP. Also the Mighty. The Undead Mighty. Bam, there we go. Just like, I don't think you can. The government doesn't want you to know that the ducks of the park are free. You can take them. I don't know if you can. I feel like there might be some problems with that. Just going around and collecting ducks. But hey, who am I to stop a man with a dream? Who am I to stop a man with a dream? So, the big problem for Warriors of Chaos in this matchup, of course, is the deck droppers in the sky. So, how is Shanks going to deal with them? He's going to be forced to bring a load of Skirmish Cav. But hey, the Skirmish Cav is more use. You can use it to kill them, but likewise you can also use it to kill big crabs if they're brought. I think Sigvald's the most common pick that I can think off the top of my head. I would personally love to see Archaon, because I think you get the fire magic plus the single entity killing potential on him, plus he's just so much quicker. But who knows? I'm not a Chaos main. Sadly, ducks are not real. I feel like that's also a lie, Zypher. There's so much propaganda going on today. So much propaganda. Good luck, have fun. I think Mofit's ready to rumble. He was born ready. Molded in the ready. He didn't see unready till he was nearly a man. Cool. Checking the stream health. We are all good. Looks like you guys are pretty 50-50 on who's going to win. Hell Cannon would be cool. Honestly, a Hell Cannon would be awesome here. What a big brain play. So normally you wouldn't fingerprint in a Hell Cannon, right? Because it's going to get dumpstered by the enemy range. But we're on Alpine Ridge. Huh. It's got a big hill in the middle. You could hide behind with a Hell Cannon and it can dominate the landscape. That is smart, man. I really think a Hell Cannon would be fantastic here. What's up, Mad Doc Mike? Hope you're all good, man. I once ran a tournament, or a caster tournament, I believe, for you, Mad Doc Mike, right? Was it like a faction war or something? That was really cool. What's up, the mighty Shidoku? You have made it in time to see the final game of the stream. Yes, you're a little bit late, I'm afraid. Scarbrand's like, just a tad. Also, what's up, Scarbrand? Hope you're all good, champ. This is the 5th game of the best of 5 finals. You made it perfect in time. So, Shidoku, I will tag quickly. I will get the bracket for you, bud, so you can see how you perform. So, your ODM boys performed pretty well today, I think. If I remember correctly. Let's have a little look through. Boom, 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 boom. Do we have any ODM players playing today? Maybe not. Maybe we didn't. We had a lot of RTK today. I don't think we had any ODM. That's like the first time in like forever. We might have had bad timings. But here be the link. There you go. Yeah, they allowed ogres as well. It was awesome. Euspus! Hope you're all good, man. Fantastic to have you here. Hope you're having a good day so far. Hopefully we can make it a little bit better as well by showcasing an awesome game. I'll be back in 2 seconds, guys. I need to go grab my phone charger. I'm about to die, and that's how I view chat, so... I am going to leave. Who do I leave in charge of chat for the 5 seconds I'm not going to be here? I'm going to back Major Muller. Major Muller, you're in charge. Please don't start a rebellion. And I'm back. What? I'm back already. Oh man, we got Hanadin's in here as well. I heard Hanadin's was going off in the ladder tournament that was going on the other day. Like, destroying people. Is this true, Hanadin's? You been out here smacking people? You did miss Norska Double Frostworm. You've dove a little bit back into the game? Yes! Honestly, the community seems to be growing again a little bit. I think it's just the hype for the next game. I think it's just the hype for the next game. More people coming back. Massive responsibility without any actual power. Sorry for waiting for me so long. No, it's okay. It's cool. I am starving to death now, but it's all good. I'm going to cook a massive meal after this. Massive meal. Shidoku, considering you're here as well. Something I've been wanting to do for a while, which I did ages ago. Ages ago. I think I organised it with Zyphos. We did an ODM civil clan war on stream, where ODM put forward like 4 champions from their clan, and they battle out like 2 best of 3 semis and a best of 5 final. I've been thinking of doing that again, but then doing it with like every clan. To have these clans like fight amongst themselves, and then maybe like we'll choose like 4 clans, like 4 popular clans, right? Have them fight amongst themselves, and then the winner of each one could get invited to like a bigger event or something. Oh, Eddie! Eddie! Man, you're like so generous, man. Honestly, every time I see you, dude, I really do appreciate it. It does put a big smile on my face. Charix, don't let me down now. No pressure at all. None. He did promise it'd be $10 if Chaos won both their games. They've won the first one. He's back in Charix from the rip. But no pressure, buddy. No pressure whatsoever. He's plotting and scheming. It's really... The big problem really is that flying core here. I think apart from that, Wars of Chaos can do some decent work. It looks like Charix is ready. We're just waiting on Mofet, who I think was ready before, but he might be back now. Sorry, Major Mood, I gave you power and I took your power away. I cruelly tore it from you. Maybe one day I can let you rule supreme with the Mighty Cat memes. I should probably by this point add you on actually as a admin or something, but I guess I'll message you on Discord about that if that's something you want to do. Looks like Mofet's now reorganizing his life goals. Really considering how he's going to take on the Chaos. And here we go. The ultimate showdown of Ultimate Destiny. I think we're like three hours into the stream, and we've got to this moment. All of the previous minutes count for nothing. It is what you do in this moment, champions, which will live on in eternity. Let's go. Come on. Who are you rooting for? Chaos or for the mighty forces of VP? I demand that we get a glorious hell cannon. I would love to see it. Gojira Gaming. Where is my power duck? Where is it? Gojira, man. I hope you're all good, dude. Gojira is one of the nicest dudes around, honestly. If you bump into him on quick battles, go super try hard, of course, against him, because he's very scary. But he is a very nice guy. Always feel free to yell hello. Let's just force people to do volunteer work. This is the main thing. This is the main thing. This is basically YouTube in a nutshell, is forced labor. People don't tell you this, but it is true. It looks like we do not have... I don't know what's looking over there. We do not have a hell cannon, guys. We don't have a hell cannon. I'm very sad. I'm very, very sad. But it's still a cool build nonetheless. So a load of horsemen and horse masters dotted all the way along the front here. Someone did say in a recent video I say dotted along the front line quite a bit, and I'm going to continue to do it, just despite that one person. So dotted along the front line, we have a load of skirmish cavalry. Dotted just behind them, we have a load of Forsaken, and dotted behind them, we have some Chaos Marauders. Up in the skies, dotted either side of each other, we have some Chaos Pharaoh Manticores, and dotted either side of Archaon, we have double Exalted Hero, with Archaon dotted right in the middle there, with Burning Head, Flaming Sword of Rune, and Cascading Firecloak. He also has the Slayer of Kings, so big fan over the ever-chosen pick there. The skirmish camp's just a necessity up against the flying core, and of course we get that flying core. So we have deck dropper handgunners, a load of deck droppers handgunners for VP up in the sky, load of zombie pirate deck cam mobs in the center. We have the Lamprey's Revenge, who are super nasty to deal with. They do, though, I believe, do they not have a weakness to fire? Surely they do. They have regen, right? What? I might even just learn about this right now. No, it does say they are warned that they have fire. Okay, it doesn't appear down here that they have weakness to fire, but they do have weakness to fire, which obviously, if Archaon around, will certainly be useful. Of course, it is a double gunnery white, as to be expected. Some more just mobs and just chaff dotted all the way around. And we have Count Noctilus in the back here with Invocation Heck and a Raised Dead, as well as all his usual summons. Hidden in the trees, a couple units of Scurvy Dogs, which of course can pounce upon the enemy. Without further ado, let the madness commence. There's going to be a lot of charging into each other. I do say cheap and cheerful. No. Hope the stream's going well. It's going really well, Gojira. Thank you, man. I stopped saying cheap and cheerful because people said I said cheap and cheerful too much, and then people complained I wasn't saying cheap and cheerful. So I move it in. I move it in. It's there. It's around. Alright. Chaos are going to have to bomb rush this like super freaking quick. Super quick. There's only 3 flyers though. They are handgunners. You can kind of place one Manticore on... Oh, there's 4. Oh, okay. Turns out ducks aren't good at counting. Yeah, you're going to need the horsemen to fend them off as much as possible. And the longer they take to approach, the more time the Gunnery Whites can do to, like, snipe the enemy alongside Count Noctilus. And, of course, they can just refill his ammunition time and time again. So it looks like the handgunners are going to be getting forced back here. The Manticores are on the warpath, and they do get that little bit of extra speed as the charge bonus kicks in, and they're actually going to be able to catch the deck droppers here and rip one to shreds. Bye-bye, deck dropper. That was not a fun day for that. The Gunnery Whites, though, with nearby support, should be enough to fend off the Chaos Pharaoh Manticores. Now, the handgunners want to whirl around and shoot the Manticores, but there's a lot of throwing javelins coming their way, and they're starting to take some pretty considerable damage. The battle line is going to have to move forward. A lot of Forsaken here, and the Forsaken are going to dumpster all the deck cam mobs, but we have the Lamprey's Revenge, and the Lamprey's Revenge, the Gunnery Whites, they're going to be quite problematic for the Warriors of Chaos. Once again, some deck droppers getting caught there, losing a couple of models. It all helps, though the Manticore is now taking significant damage from the double Gunnery White. If it rampages, it's just a nightmare for Charax to deal with there. A little more cavalry can push forward. Archaon and the double exiled hero will be enough, you'd assume, to overrun the Gunnery Whites, but with the Lamprey's Revenge mixed in there, it can certainly be quite rough. I like the Scooby Dog's been using this defensive hidden position as well. It's going to bait your opponent into a false sense of security. Forsaken are bomb rushing forward. They are about to meet a load of shotgun shells to the face. Quite a few of them do stutter there. And the Lamprey's Revenge now will engage with them. The Lamprey's Revenge do decide to actually fall back from this fight, which, I mean, against Forsaken aren't going to do a huge amount of damage, right? But they're trying to drag them back into this summon. The horses are whirling around as quickly as possible. We get a big, fat, juicy burning head, roasting that unit of zombie pirate deck cam mobs, not getting the most value, but more importantly, breaking the front line, allowing the Forsaken to continue to push through and surround the other entities. We get yet another summon come down, but the Gunnery Whites are well up against it now. Double Exiled Hero plus Archaon just cracking this crab open, devouring the flesh under the shell. It is getting Invocation Heck popped on it, but the Chaos Pharaoh Manticore does commit to the fight, and this Gunnery White is being ripped to shreds, though Count Noctilus is in the danger zone himself now with so many Exiled Heroes nearby. It looks like the Gunnery White was able to escape with the heal there, though we get a Cascading Firecloak go down on Archaon, and the single entities are hunting the single entities in the middle here. Up in the skies, Chaos Pharaoh Manticore is driving away the handgunners. Horsemen are trying to support, but the trap has been sprung. Scurry Dogs appear from their hidden position in the trees, and oh no, disaster! Charax has completely forgotten a unit of Marauder Horsemen in the back. They can be so nice in this middle fight. Chaos Pharaoh Manticore is going to stop this Gunnery White from escaping, and that should be one dead right, or at least you'd think, but look at this move there. Says no, not today. I'm going to drag you all around the battlefield and make this gone for 20 minutes if I have to. I'm saving this gunnery white. Scorodog's attempt to support a lovely cannon shot does come in there from Count Noctilus. We get yet another burning head roasting the zombie pirate deckhand mobs. The Lamprey's Avenger having a word of a time. Chaos Pharaoh Manticore is starting to dispatch them, but there's Overwatch fire now coming in from the handgunners, and that's very problematic, of course, for the Warriors of Chaos there. Exalted Hero does try to catch Count Noctilus. It looks like the gunnery white died, I believe. Yeah, you can see his hollow shell there. Scorodog's starting to go down, and now we get Foe Seeker going on Archaon, and he is seeking the big boy, Count Noctilus himself, trying to drag him down. We have yet another zombie summon trying to stop them, but I think it was summoned a little bit late then. It looks like Archaon is going to be able to push through. The Flyers still have ammo, though. The Flyers still have ammo, and that could be very bad in the late game because the Chaos is certainly starting to run out of steam here. Chaos Marauders are starting to push forward. The Cavalry looks like it's getting dealt with as well. Scorodog's are doing a good job there. The Manticore, the Exalted Heroes, Archon, everyone currently going after Count Noctilus, trying to weigh him low, though. There's this other gunnery white still very healthy. Count Noctilus is in a really nasty sandwich right now. Exalted Hero, Manticore, Archon, that flaming sword burning a path of righteous fury in the arse of Count Noctilus, who's taking so much damage right now. Invocation Heck is going to stabilize him, though, and we do have a decent amount of shots coming in. The deck dropper handgunners are laying it on pretty damn thick here. And Archaon's actually taking a load of damage now, even with Cascade and Firecloak popped on him. But Count Noctilus likewise is really low. What a fight for the final fight of the stream. Forsaken are grinding through the enemy, and yet another beautifully placed Burning Head. Charax has been on form today with those, wiping out basically all the infantry support for the Vampire Coast. And that's really bad news. You need your infantry support to help your single entities, because now the Lamprey's Avenger is going to be really under a lot of pressure from this Manticore and Archaon, who has Slayer of Kings active. Every slice of his blade will be enough now to carve another Lamprey's Avenger down into the murky depths from once they spawned. The handgunners going for the Hail Mary right now. VP are losing pretty hard. How do we win this? We kill Archaon. We drag him down and start dragging the Chaos through the mud. Archaon going to go in for the killing blow on Count Noctilus, who has been dragged down off his mighty construct, and down he goes. Scorodog's likewise will be getting feasted upon there. Archaon has no way to heal. Luckily, he's now hidden amongst his troops, which will help him out quite a bit, particularly with the Cascade and Firecloak on him. Looks like the Lamprey's Revenge may stabilize, which could be really bad news now. The Manticore is going to be ripping apart the deck dropper handgunners. Scodogs are finishing off the Marauder Horsemen. Though, was that unit remembered? It was. Okay, at least they got, some usage here. And the Warriors of Chaos looking very beat up. If Archaon goes down, there's a real chance here they could get broken off the battlefield. Manticore's been used to chase off the deck droppers. Is fantastic play, though, kind of by Charax, constantly applying that pressure. I'm also quite liking the stand or die to keep Archaon in action. But more importantly, those Cascade and Firecloaks making that little bit more tanky. It looks like the Grey White's in a bad position. He is standing and holding his ground, really hoping that they can break the Warriors of Chaos, beat up infantry with these lovely, lovely attacks coming in, and Archaon going down. But Archaon's still standing firm for now. Chaos Pharaoh Manticore commits to the fight against the Grey White. Second Manticore also swoops down, cracking the shell of the crab there and slaughtering it. The handgunners are running really low on ammunition right now. This unit, though, let's see, 9 rounds. That's enough to kill Archaon. Archaon is popping a Foe Seeker, just trying anything to get a bit added mobility there to try to juke the enemy. These two of deck droppers, though, are not going to have a good day. Chaos Pharaoh Manticore does have 85 speed. Their speed currently is 80, so the Manticores will be able to chase them and dispatch them. Scodogs are running for their life, trying to buy time for these two other units to finish off Archaon. And they probably will be able to get the ultimate prize and finish him off for good, but 83 Marauders. 81 Marauders, a load of Forsaken, and 2 Exalted Heroes, though they are beat up, is still pretty scary. Likewise is the Manticores, who are continuing to chase the deck droppers at the moment. Archaon falling back to the trees, but it looks like he's wavering and might even break just by being so low on the HP department. It looks like, yeah, these deck droppers are getting caught here. They're starting to crumble as soon as they get touched by the Chaos Pharaoh Manticore, and I think the Mad Lad might have pulled it off here. Once again, Mofa is such a good scrap. He's desperately trying to drag this back, and there is the possibility he can, as the Manticore does go down. He needs to kill Archaon, though, who's currently lurking and hiding in the trees. If he goes down, maybe with some cycle charging, some damage, they can force off this Chaos army and break it, but it seems very unlikely. Scodogs are running for their life. The Chaos Pharaoh Manticore is on the warpath trying to chase it off. You can see the deck droppers have now found Archaon, who's continuing to run. Stand or Die goes down, trying to keep his leadership in the game. Make your opponent use up all the ammunition they physically can. Chaos Pharaoh Manticore rallies on the periphery of the battlefield might be able to come back into this and at least make the enemy use up some more ammo. Lovely juking from Archaon. He is zigzagging, serpentine, but then he is driven off the battlefield. So he's gone. The morale's wavering quite a bit here. Now the Exotic Heroes are going to be the ones to get focused down. Handgunners have one volley left here. We have one volley left on this unit. The big unit is 6 volleys, though. And look at the chaos they're starting to waver. The entire front line's wavering. The Exalted Heroes wavering. The Manticore is just about fine. I mean, the double Chaos Marauders is enough to kill everything that's left in combat. Easily. Easy enough to kill everything. But will the morale hold is a big question. Because the Forsaken morale probably won't. It's wavering pretty bad right now. A load of shots do come in. Scoreboard shatter though, and it looks like Arminos is May kicking. We will never find out if they had enough ammo because the Scurvy Dogs broke. And then if that happens and you have no ground forces, you are forced to land or your morale breaks. They're already so close to crumbling. The Warriors of Chaos get the double victory just for Eddie. I'm pretty sure Charax, he summoned his inner Eddie there to claim victory. What an absolute raid boss. What a champ. What a finals there. Charax winning it. 3-2 up against Mofet, who was a very talented competitor. I believe he won a tournament just the other day and was performing really well, but RTK's very own Charax can hold his head high. He has booked himself a slot in the finals of DBD Season 10 alongside Calaharman. We still have 2 more qualifiers to come. Feel free to join my Discord, link down below. To keep up to date on when the next one will be. Probably will be next week. But very well played. 170 kills on Archaon. I said Archaon was the one better than Sigvald in this matchup. He did good work. 2.1k damage value on him. Exalted Heroes 1.1k and 1.3. Fantastic at sniping down the enemy single entities there. Good use of Cascade and Firecloak to keep Archaon in the game as long as he did. Marauders, decent kills across the board. Very healthy in the latter stages. 120 kills on the Forsaken. 93, 79, 139. Big numbers. Terrible numbers for their damage value, but hey, it is what it is. Someone needed to get rid of the enemy chaff. The Skirmish Cav didn't do too much. Got hounded rather effectively. The Manticores were used really well. 850 and 592. But this game was really put on the back, I think, of Archaon and the Exalted Heroes. Though everyone had their part to play, of course. The Forsaken killed the chaff that allows the Exalted Hero and Archaon to hunt down the enemy more successfully and reign supreme. Count Noctilus, 1.5k value, 63 kills. The Double Crabs, 1,000 value and 480. Did okay, particularly Count Noctilus there. The Undead Hordes just got slaughtered. Forsaken chewed them up. The Sco Dogs, 744 value is really nice with 70 kills. The other unit flopping a little bit more. How did the Deck Droppers perform? 900, 940, 611, and 711 damage value. Not bad whatsoever. 1.7k on the Lamprey's Revenge. Such a solid unit all around. Very impressive. But then, no luck with the map. Very bad for VP in this matchup. Yeah, I don't know if I'd bring much of a different VP build, honestly, in like an open map. You can bring cannons, I suppose. Yeah, I don't know. But GG's well played to Mofet as well. Played a fantastic game. Awesome set of games. Well done, dude. You are... Nope. You are today's champion. And have booked yourself a slot in the grand, or the season finals, we'll call it. He's got tough competition already. I feel great and not. Oh no. I'm so tired, but it was worth it. Thanks for playing, man. Looks like he might be going quite late into the night there. And obviously it's grueling as well, playing some of these tournaments, all these best of threes. It can be really, really, like, you know, really tough. Every time I ended up voting for, ended up losing. Curse my luck. No, Nacho. Or, Nacho. Ogre's my lord. Ogre's my lord indeed. So, let's update the scoreboard there. It is a glorious... I think I didn't update it from the one before. So, should be 3-2. There we go. 2 Charax, and he is today's champion, booking a slot alongside rather honoured enemies as well. Mighty Calaharman of Clan ODM. 2 more slots are still available. We will get to them at some point in the future. I hope you guys enjoyed today's stream. It was really awesome. What I'm going to do now is quickly fill out the challenge score. So I believe it is... This is the score. So Charax does go through. And managed to win. Just going to end the tournament. And then I will send you guys on your merry way. If you've not had enough yet of the action, if you're like, you know, this was good, Duck, but I joined late and I want to see more glorious Total War Warhammer action. It's all I want. It's all I desire right now. I must feast upon some more glorious action this very second. And by this very second, I mean literally, I'm pressing the button as I speak. I have just published a video. I will get a link to you guys, and you can go and watch a glorious battle, I believe, between Ben the Barman, taken on the mighty Logic in a Dwarf versus Norscan showdown. So, boop. Here's a link to that if you're not tired yet of Total War action. If not, it'll be there anyway in the future, and you guys can check out whenever you want. But there is a link to that glorious film. Thanks for the stream, Mr. Duck. No worries. Well played to both. Yeah, both played amazing. Honestly, Chax and over, either one could have been champion today. Charex just about claiming at the top spot there. A true gladiator bout. I agree, Major Muller. I agree fully. Thanks for the stream, Mr. Duck, says Parkrunner. No worries, man. Hope you guys enjoyed. Honestly, it was a blast and was really good fun. So let's end the poll there as well. Looks like you guys did vote for the Mighty Chaos. Once again, special shout out to Eddie. Thank you so much for the donation. And Charex did not let you down. He made you proud. So anyway, guys, until next time, peace, peace. And as always, stay